nearest Choices Flooring showroom.
Have you ever wondered what it's like for someone to move to another country where there's a foreign culture and a foreign language?
You've got no concept of what you should do, what you shouldn't do, where to go for help.
What's something we should consider when reaching out to people of other cultures and backgrounds?
It's very simple things like just actually saying hello to someone or engaging in a conversation, no matter how awkward it is.
I'm Jo Chamberlain and you're listening to Messages of Hope. If you'd like more on this topic, go to messagesofhope.org.au.
In this new era of ChatGPT and AI, the tradies of Melbourne have spoken. Us blokes want the real robot.
Robots got it.
Carpentry, fencing, engineering projects and DIY. Robot building supplies can help you get the job done.
Robots got it.
The original robot since 1946. Find us in Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. We're robot, but we're human. Robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
Your ultimate driving machine awaits you at Essendon BMW. Explore the outstanding selection of in-stock vehicles ready for immediate delivery. With an on-site business manager and vehicle appraiser ready to assist you, Essendon BMW are dedicated to optimising your trade-in value and financial advantages. Conveniently situated in Essendon Fields, the dealership offers a seamless experience when exploring the range of vehicles. Begin your journey to sheer driving pleasure and visit Essendon BMW today.
LMCT 11803. At Ozito, we know for you it's about leaving your mark. With over 100 tools for your home and garden, all powered by one battery to make it happen. Because when it comes to getting things done, do it yourself. Do it with Ozito. Do you?
If you're tired of dirty wheels on your European vehicle, listen up because Bendix has the answer. Euro Plus brake pads from Bendix feature dust reduction technology that will have your wheels looking cleaner for longer. But it's not just about the looks. Euro Plus pads are the perfect OE replacement, offering smooth, quiet and more confident braking. Ask your mechanic to fit them at your next service. Get Bendix Euro Plus brake pads today and enjoy superior braking without the dust. Bendix, put your foot down with confidence.
Experience the excitement of Melbourne's newest sporting team, Melbourne Mavericks.
And tickets are now available for Mavericks versus the Vixens at John Cain Arena Sunday, April 14.
Be a Maverick. Strong, fearless, a trailblazer. Tickets available at melbournemavericks.com.
Right now at Macca's, go large or medium or small. This month, get any soft drink, any size for just $1. Value means more at Macca's. Available at participating restaurants. Excludes McDelivery. Excludes frozen soft drinks.
And he's back, finding his final siren every Friday night after the footy on SEN 1116.
Francis onto it, busted away, steady, straight and goal!
We have got the finish to beat all finishers.
Welcome to the 2024 AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation.
Good evening and welcome to the 2024 AAMI Community Series here on AFL Nation, right around the country. Thank you for your company this evening. Miles Fitzner with you as we bring you the game between Hawthorn and the Western Bulldogs live from UTAS Stadium in Launceston. Joining me in the pre-game before Josh Jenkins joins me during the game is, SEN's own. He's a superstar, part of the Armchair Experts. His name is Cam Luke. Hello to you, Cam.
Hello, buddy. Exciting times. AFL season almost here, and it means a little bit more with less official practice matches this year in the AFL, which is, I think, the right way to go, and a little quirk as these two teams played a week ago in a scratch match.
They certainly did play a week ago in a scratch match, and the last time that these two teams actually met was at this stadium in round 22. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But what have you made of the round so far? We just saw the result there with the Adelaide Crows defeating the West Coast Eagles by 67 points at Richmond Oval there in Adelaide. And then the Crows, I know we've seen some comments during the week from certain radio identities in Adelaide having a go at David King, and Adelaide, their parochial supporters, they're up and about and think that they're a big chance.
They are. There's obviously a great deal of optimism. 12 months ago, if you think back to the Crows and Matthew Nicks, where they're going to go, fair bit of pressure on him. They had an outstanding year. They were only Well, they only didn't play finals because of a goal umpiring error. They would have made it, of course, as it all worked out after that Ben Keys goal. I didn't see a great deal of it today, but Adelaide, a team, again, the big question mark is, does Tex Walker hold up that end of the bargain? He's been great the last 2 years inside 50. Now, can he do it again? And if he doesn't, is it time for one of these young guys to stand up? 3 or 4, obviously, he's had a pretty good pre-season. Is it going to be a Rochelle? Is it going to be a Fogarty? I think Rankin's going to play a little more in the middle of the ground. So it's just about conjuring up goals for the Crows, but so far so good, albeit against a team that we don't expect to be strong today.
The other matches, Port Adelaide defeated the Fremantle Dockers at Alberton Oval by 39 points, 92-53. Port look like they're on the march again, Cam.
Yeah, they do. And again, I feel like a broken record. When you've got a midfield like the Port Adelaide team does, Rosie, Butters, Horn Francis, these type of guys, they're going to be good. They're going to win enough games. But again, the big question mark is going to be, how does their forward line go about it? We look about the way football is really progressing. They're going to win enough games with their midfield and their ability to be able to conjure up scores in home and away games. But again, last September, their inability, in particular against the Giants, in that second half, they had a chance. Charlie Dixon, of course, where he is at his footballing career, is there going to be a Marshall who stands up on the back of that long contract? There's Georgiada's come back from that injury later in the year, but if they can find someone outside of Dixon to give you 45 goals, a big guy gives them a huge chance.
The other results from earlier in the AAMI Community Series round, Geelong, they beat the Bombers by 12 points, 83-71. The Giants took care of the Suns by 44 points, 105-61. The Lions got the Chocolates over the Swans out at Blacktown by 25 points, 81-56. Melbourne beat Carlton by 38 points at Icon Park, 101-63. And Collingwood took care of Richmond 76-46 and won that by 30. We turn our attention to the two teams playing in the Community Series here at Launceston, Cam Nolan. Look, when I penned this game, I thought, gee, are we seeing the emergence of a couple of young stars? One of them being Riley Sanders. I mean, the Lark Medal winner for the best in the Under-18 Championships. He was a high draft pick, highly touted. He's my tip for the AFL Rising Star. And on the flip side, Hawthorn have got one in Watson. He looks an absolute ready-made footballer.
He does. They went out and drafted him to go inside 50. Of course, they've got Luke Bruce. They've got guys who play inside 50 of a similar ilk. Of course, Luke Bruce and that wonderful career closer to the end than the start. But Watson's come in and he already looks like he's going to be able to fill a little bit of a different-looking forward line this year, of course. Ginnivan up there as well. Hopefully we get to see a bit more of Mitchell Lewis after injuries curtailed him last year. On the other side of it, Riley Sanders, a really interesting chat. High draft pick, as we know. I was on air hosting Dwayne Russell's show on SEN when the bad news came through about Bailey Smith's ACL, and straight away the football and the Doggies track watchers and Doggies fans were on the text and on the line saying, hey, you know what, this sucks. But Riley Sanders is going to slide straight in and going to be in the guts from the first bounce of the AFL season. And when they're already talking, that was in December, when there's already people watching training and already seeing what's happening on the track and the confidence that's coming out of Whitten Oval, and these people are hearing it and seeing it, clearly he's doing a lot right, and proven again to me last week, and he gets another chance tonight to do that.
And we'll just talk about the changes, though. They've got D'Ambrosio, Chol, Deere, Ginnivan, Gunston, Will McCabe, Ethan Phillips as the SSP from Box Hill out of the VFL, Bodie Ryan, and of course Nick Watson, the pick 5, go into the Hawthorn side. And out of their team, Bramble's been delisted and picked up by the Dogs in the SSP. They lose Brockman, Fergus Green, Jecker, Kashitsky, Long, Lynch, Morris, O'Hara and Brandon Ryan. And then for the Bulldogs, well, Bramble comes in through the SSP. They get Nick Caulfield from St Kilda, Jordan Croft, the father-son. Fredge is a 45 draft pick. James Harms, premiership player at the Demons. Aidan O'Driscoll was their 55 pick and Riley Sanders their number 6. Lockie Smith was their number 7. Out go Josh Bruce, Hayden Crozier, Mitch Hannon, Robbie McLean, Tim O'Brien, Cody Rack, Rourke Smith and Jordan Sweet, who ended up at Port Adelaide. Some pretty handy ins for both teams. I think it's really going to change the setup for both sides, but we'll start with the Bulldogs. But getting players in for the Bulldogs, especially like James Harms, I mean, he's a player that can add a lot of depth.
Absolutely, and it's something they probably struggle little bit with the different times. We know how good their top end of their midfield is. It's going to be deep, how deep they go and how much they bat behind the Bontempelli, the Liberatores of the world. But Cray was used in a bit of a different role last year, which led to some frustration at different times. But you think he's going to probably play in the middle of the ground a bit. You talk about their tools. They're just got to find that right balance. I don't think last year they were able to, with Luke Beveridge and the way they played their best football, able to find the balance with tools inside 50, led by Norton and Jamara. Of course, Rory Lobb, the way he plays his best football, and then Tim English, the All-Australian ruckman. So it's about finding balance all around the ground, which I don't think they had at different times.
The lineups for tonight, we'll run through them. For Hawthorn, Josh Ward, Sam Frost, Ethan Phillips, Scrimshaw, Sicily at centre-half back, and Massimo D'Ambrosio. Carl Amon comes back in. He didn't play the match before. Connor Nash and Connor McDonald through the centre. Nick Watson, Mitch Lewis, Luke Bruce, then Jack Ginnivan, Marby Chol, Finn McGuinness, Ned Reeves in the ruck with John Newcomb and the youngster Cam McKenzie. On the pine for Hawthorn, Jarman Impey, James Warple, Blake Hardwick, who's been playing forward, Lloyd Meek, Bodie Ryan, Sam Butler, Max Ramsden and Henry Huswaite. I've liked the look of him so far. For the Bulldogs, in the back line, Lockie Bramble, Liam Jones, Nick Caulfield. At half-back, Ed Richards, Buku Kama, should I say, Jason Johannesson, Riley Sanders, Adam Treloar, Harvey Gallagher, Lockie McNeil, Rory Lobb at centre-half forward, and Latham Vandermeer, West, Norton and Ugle Hagan up forward. English back in the side. We saw Darcy do the ruck work in the practice match last week. Bontempelli back in as well, and of course Liberatore. And on the pine, Cody Waitman, Sam Darcy, Oscar Baker, Taylor DeRay, James Harms, Bailey Williams, Callum Daniel and Luke Cleary. The injury lists, Cam, for both sides. Look, the Bulldogs, we've seen Bailey Dale's not playing tonight, Jack McRae, James O'Donnell and Bailey Smith, of course. And then for Hawthorn, though, Blank, Day, Denver Granger, Barras, Jaff, McCabe, Mitchell, Moore, Wingard, now Gunston and Weddle. It's been a horror pre-season for Hawthorn.
It has, and frustration for Hawks fans, no doubt, led by Sam Mitchell. They played their football the right way last year. There's an air of optimism. They attacked, I think, the off-seasons really well. They went and got Jack Gunston back. Their forward line's a bit different, but the fact is the injuries, in particular when Will Day is going to miss the start of the year, that really hurts. I'm going to leave you. Josh Jenkins is going to roll on in. Milo, have a good call.
Thank you, Cam, for the start of the match. Cam Luke there from the Armchair Experts and SEN Zone. The coin toss in the middle of the ground for the AAMI Community Series. It's been won by Marcus Bontempelli. He will kick to the right of your radio dial. So the Bulldogs kicking to the right of your radio dial. Hawthorn kicking to the left. Josh Jenkins to join me in commentary very, very shortly as we see two teams go and get in their huddles at the start of the warm-up. 0433 98 11 16 if you want to join the conversation. That's 0433 98 11 16 if you want to join the conversation. 149 games. He kicked 296 goals. Josh Jenkins, welcome to you.
Good evening, Miles. Looking forward to this one. I had the pleasure or displeasure of calling Port and Fremantle last night. It was a scrappy affair. It was a bit to come out of it too from Fremantle's perspective. They were called in for a quick meeting with the coach straight after the game. It was a little bit strange, but certainly looking forward to seeing the Dogs. They underperformed last year, no doubt about it. They've got amazing top-end talent. They failed to make the finals, and with their gun players, it's hard to work out how they missed out. And from Hawthorn's perspective, they're very bullish, the Hawks fans. Are keen to see what they look like in the back half of the ground and around the footy. And Mitch Lewis is a big gun key forward who I've got plenty of time for. So this should be a good game.
AFL Nation for McDonald's, the new McCrispy at Macca's, of course. The new McCrispy try it today at Macca's. Taking their place in the lineup. These practice games or community series games, it's nice, JJ, to take the foot off the pedal. We go into the middle of the ground at the University of Tasmania Stadium. Hawthorn take on the Bulldogs, and again, the Bulldogs kicking to the right of your radio dial. English in the middle with Reeves, tapped down a Nash, found Ward. So Hawthorn looking to go forward already through Amon. On his left with an inside 50 entry target. I think at the back was Lewis, but the clearing kick coming away from the Dogs. Only went as far as McKenzie. One way, the other, a little dink kick. Tried to find Bruce. He ducked inside. Oh, he's been wrapped up. Shrugged the tackle. No. So the flick back to McDonald. A handball now to Nash. He may take the ball over the boundary line and does. And a little bit scrappy there from Luke Bruce to get run down. Josh Jenkins will have a boundary throw in 40 metres around in the right forward pocket for the Hawthorn Football Club.
Yeah, nice sunny evening in Launceston. Looks a nice night for footy as the ball's thrown in. The rucks go at it. Reeves a little bit too big and strong there for Tim English, who's going to have a big season, of course, out of contract. And we'll get a secondary ball up in the Hawthorn forward 50. Just the two ruckmen lock up again. Reeves gets his left hand on it. The ball's slapped around. Newcomb's able to feed the handball back. The ball goes inside 50. Big Mabior Chol gets hands on it. Can't mark. Probably should have. Richards is able to flick it out in the area of a teammate. He gets it back. His ball's just in a scrimmage. That's a very deliberate knock out of bounds from Vandermeer. And even though he was under pressure, the umpire agreed. And he says that is deliberate. That's not insufficient intent. That is just absolutely deliberate. And we'll see Hawthorn get the first look at it.
McKenzie.
Around on the left from McKenzie, and it's a beautiful finish from the young man. If you don't mind, it might have been a fortuitous free kick. It wasn't a fortuitous goal. It was a lovely goal, stepping around on the left foot. McKenzie just goes bang. He's kicked 3 goals in his short 14-game career. He might have been lucky to get the free kick. Oh, he was closest to the mark, and certainly Vandermeer, he just tapped that over the line. Even with the old rule, that was a free kick, and the young man steps around onto the left foot like he'd done it a couple of hundred times, Miles.
He certainly did. A smooth finish from McKenzie. I like the look of him in the practice match, JJ, and on the scoreboard, all thanks to Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts. Hawthorn, they kick the first. So only a couple of minutes in to the first quarter. We go back in the centre of the ground. The Ambrosio up on centre wing in front of our commentary position. Reed and English go at it. Ward, he gets wrapped up straight away by Treloar. Good to see him back in the side. Umpire said, give it to me, just slightly towards the Hawthorn forward line. Reeves again got the better of English. English wrapped him up. Big pack of players form around the ball. Bontempelli flicked it out. Johannesson now to Sanders, who looks out to half forward to find Ugelhagen. He went with one hand. He did well. He come back inside to Sanders. Feigned the handball. Looks ready-made. He does. Just a slight smother on the kick. So short. Inboard. Sanders overran McKenzie. He was clean at ground level. Found aim on his sidestep one way the other. And on the outside of the boot looked to clear up the line.
Ball's on centre wing. Hawks able to get onto it first through Watson. He gets tackled. Got high hopes for that young man. Ginnivan as well. So as some of the new look forward line, McKenzie kicks an underground ball in the area of big Mitch Lewis. Got plenty of time for him. He tries to handball it to a teammate, but Liam Jones gets his hands on it. Gives it to English, who just off one step kicks to Norton, who comes up and meets the footy, old centre forward style. He's got the bigger headband than last year. Kicks to his wingman in Jamara. Well, Jamara might be the main man by the end of the season.
Yeah.
English has got Norton, he's got the big contract. Jamara Ugelhagen will have maybe an even bigger one. He gives it to Vandermeer, kicks it inside forward 50 to Lobb. Can't mark, ball goes over the back. Lobb tries to get back onto it first, but the ball goes over the line for a rush behind, and it is 1 straight 6 to the Hawks, 0-1-1 to the Dogs.
Sad that the Hawks lost Weddle out of this side. I like the look of him in the practice match, JJ, and it was a big in really for Hawthorn in their defence, so they'll be tested certainly today. So Bruce looking long up the line. Richards is going to lead them to it. Caulfield, I should say. Caulfield heads inboard, finds Bontempelli. They go through the corridor this time, and then now elect to go wider. Jamari's getting busy on his bike. He turns, wheels around, hits it from 52. Umpire doesn't move. And if it's shades of what we're about to see this season, he'll be the human highlight reel. He's led up on one side, Josh Jenkins, taken the ball and stirred around. He's led up on the other, covering a lot of ground. He looks fit.
Yep. I think he can be... I think he could absolutely explode this year. He kicked inaccurately last year, so he generated plenty of shots for goal. I think 35 goals, 35, had another 23 that didn't score. So he generated almost 100 shots for goal. We know he's out of contract, and they will offer him, they being the Dogs, but they being others, he will get something that will just blow everything away. I honestly believe someone will come with a contract of probably a decade.
Well, 8 years for Norton. We saw the extension there.
This guy's younger, probably has more upside again. So
35 goals last year.
Rucks go at it. English steps around Reeves, knocks it down only as far as Warple, who fends off Bont and then shrugs the tackle of Bont. Will get a free kick for a high tackle. The secondary tackle from Bontempelli was just over the shoulder. So Warple, one-time best and fairest winner in his young career, likes something at centre-half forward. It'll have to be perfect. Trelaw tries to cut it off. Handball from Huswaite. Back to McGuinness. Ball's kicked inside forward 50 now. English is back there. Can't mark. Reeves does the crumbing. Gives it to Ginnivan in the long sleeves. Despite the sunshine, his ball's smothered. Liberatore gets it at half-back. Kicks it into space. And it's a foot race out on the wing. Vandermeer will be first to it. In front of Amon. Kicks an underground ball to Harms. Handball back again. So the Dogs are controlling the footy in the early part of this game. Vandermeer bangs it helicopter style inside forward 50. But Newcomb gets back. He's a fine player. And the Hawks are able to clear.
So cut off at left half forward for the Bulldogs. They go back inside 50 once more. Ball spills over the back. Lobb managed to get a fingertip on it. McNeil kicked a 4 in the practice game. Underground handball to Norton, and he kicks his first. McNeil at ground level. He was good in the match simulation. The crumb over the back and the touch from Lobb. The Bulldogs get their second within a minute. And we've gone 7 minutes in the first quarter here. The Western Bulldogs 2-1-13 lead Hawthorn 1 straight 6 on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard.
Yeah, they almost mucked it up, the Doggies. Lobb was going to leave it. And he did leave it in the end. He probably created a nice shape, but it was a nice contest from Jamara. He didn't try and mark the footy, just got his hands on the ball and created that spill. And Lockie McNeil flicked a nice handball out to Norton, who kicked a very, very easy goal. In fact, it was so easy, he was able to kick it on the right foot. So 2-1-13 to the Dogs plays 1 straight 6 as the Rucks go at it again. English wins this one down. Reeves had probably had the better of him early. Libba kicks it out of the air. Impey's able to pick up the loose ball handballs it to Warple, puts him under plenty of pressure. He does ride the tackle nicely. Impey gets it back, handballs it wide to McKenzie, the first goal scorer of the game. He tries to kick it on the outside of the foot, doesn't go far. Reeves comes up. Buku Kamas, who's playing back. He's been tried forward, back up ruck. He's going to start this game in defence, but we will have a ball up between centre wing and half forward for the Hawks.
Don't forget you can join the conversation. 0433 98 11 16. Miles Fitzner and the 149 game of Josh Jenkins with you. Ginnivan wrapped up in a big tackle by Liberatore. Umpire said I'll have it. Gone 8.5 in the first here at UTAS Stadium. Numbers around the footy. English tapped out to space in front of Liberatore. Huswaite in pursuit, just tries to corral him to the boundary. Liberatore on his left, up towards Lobb. Sicily forced him under, and Amon getting busy. So the shimmy back to Sicily via hand. Sicily around the corner, tries to pull the kick inside to Reeves. Gets taken over the back. They go inside 50 once again, the Dogs. Off fingers, over the back of the pack to the goal square. Amon back to clean up again. He's racking them up for fun. Chips across over to Impey, getting across McDonald. Back to Impey, shrugged another tackle there. Flirting with danger here are Hawthorn. Impey now lowers the eyes, hits the 45, and away they go through half back, through half slate. Now Newcomb.
So Newcomb kicks it to half forward, a big one-on-one. Liam Jones read the footy quicker than Mitch Lewis. Took the intercept mark as he does often. Kicks it wide. Uncontested mark on the wing. Taken by Johannesen. So he plays on. Hooks it back inside. English goes up, can't mark. Ball gets over the back. Taken by McGuinness. He handballs it to Amon, who's got the footy again. He gives it to Warple. He's taken down by Sanders, who looks, as Miles Fitzner said, he looks like a ready-made player. Sanders appealed for the holding the ball. Umpire says no prior. He'll throw it up. Lob's in the ruck now. Liberatore first give, gets it out to Gallagher. He kicks it inside forward 50, but that man, James Sicily, is always where the ball goes, and he takes the intercept mark and will look to clear it for the Hawks.
JJ, danger signs here early too. When you've got Carl Amon is racking them up. He's already up to 5 already in the first 8 minutes. The last time these two teams met at Newcastle was round 22. Hawthorn defeated the Dogs by 3 points. Newcombe had 40, Amon had 32. Top 7 possession getters on the ground were the Hawks. So
it was a bad loss for the Dogs.
It was an awful loss.
It was week before they went and had an even worse loss against the Eagles.
Didn't finish the year well. Only won 2 of their last 5, did the Bulldogs. So Lob v. Chol. Lob sort of follows it up. Liberatore got a quick handball out to Bontempelli. Snap across his body to try and find Ugle-Hagan. Crummers are in there. Waitman went one-handed. Feigned for the high contact and didn't get the free kick. McGuinness was smart, as was Amon. Umpire said, give it to me. So it'll be thrown up 15 metres out, almost directly in front. Lob v. Chol. And there's free kick paid. It's for holding in the ruck contest. It'll go to Chol.
It will. He's doing the backup ruck duty, so maybe your Chol's going to get first crack at the second key forward / backup ruck. We know he can do it. He kicks it wide in the area. There's been a free kick paid. I think it's going to go to Jones for a block. Liam Jones always comes at the footy. Hawks forwards were trying to block him out of that marking contest, so he kicks it forward. Frost tries to mark, can't do so. He's first on it at ground level. He's tackled at ground level by Harms, who should add some run and some grunt to the Dogs midfield half forward area, but we'll have a ball up 15 metres out from goal. Lob and Chol go at it again. Bontempelli's trying to get onto it. West tries to get it, gives it to Norton, who kicks it around the corner but hooks it too much, and it's a minor score. You'd probably like that one again. Aaron Norton got a bit of time on his left foot but couldn't score. So we're 2-2-14. The Dogs 1 goal straight. Hawthorn, all of the footy inside the Dogs forward half. 8-2 inside 50s early in this one.
All thanks to Tyre Power, of course, your trusted tyre experts. Perfect conditions here. Half the ground in shade with the sun shining. Slight breeze. Just an air of chill in the air here at UTAS Stadium. Jones goes up inside 50. Ugle-Hagan with the fly in front. Quick hands from Huswaite. Amon tried to get a kick away. McNeil. He crumbed it on 50. Back to Treloar. On his left, pulled the kick and it was perfect. It only just went to 15. Josh Jenkins and Jamara Ugle-Hagan will kick from almost bang on 50. Maybe a shade inside and, well, almost the right side for a left footer if you're not quite directly in front.
Yeah, and gives us a good look at his goal kicking routine. I was at Icon Park Wednesday night and saw Harry Mackay's brand new routine. So Ugle-Hagan, very deliberate approach. It was inaccurate last year. Doesn't strike that one at all well either. Slices the footy. He's not happy with it. A minor score, and it's going to be an interesting year in terms of accuracy for that man. 2-3-15 the Dogs, 1 goal straight the Hawks.
The back in board they come. Big grab taken by Lob over the top. 70 from home, and they'll go back inside 50 again. Repeat entries, and guess who? Ugle-Hagan. He dropped that mark. Huswaite did the 360. The spin came out through Nash. Now the run of Impey. Out to the wing. Tried to find Warple in a one-on-one there with Richards. Did well. Richards. Gallagher. Import. Caulfield. They go inside 50 to the Dogs again. The target. Lob and Ugle-Hagan, and a big mark there taken by Ethan Phillips. And what a story he is, JJ. Through the SSP from Box Hill. I mean, a hell of a story.
Fantastic intercept mark under heavy pressure as well. So that's a nice sign for he and for Hawks fans, because they are light down back. They need some extra size in defence. They were heavily into Mackay and Ratugolea in the off-season. Couldn't secure either. They were able to move the footy along the half-back line. Mitch Lewis comes right up the ground to meet the ball.
It was Port Melbourne and Box Hill, and yeah, he certainly did the job at VFL level.
Yeah, well, he started brightly here tonight. Lewis kicks it inside to Ginnivan, still at half-back. He's got the familiar long sleeves. He's traded the stripes of the pies for the stripes of the Hawks.
Do you think we're going to see more of that? He's 24 years old and getting a go, and it's what we like to see.
You know, I had a look at Manor last night for Geelong. 24-year-olds, if they're good, they've still got 8 years. That's a bad kick from Impey. Turned over to Ugle-Hagan. He gives it to Bontempelli. He leans back, and the only low-light in Marcus Bontempelli's game is occasionally he's inaccurate, and he's inaccurate on that occasion, as are the Dogs. 2-4-16, one straight 6 the Hawks, but in the past 10 or 12 minutes, it has been one-way traffic in favour of the Dogs.
16 plays 6, all thanks to Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts. Come out to the commentary side, ball goes over the back of the pack, and Joel says, I'm happy to run that over. James Harms, the former Demon, good fellow James Harms, escorts him over the boundary line as well. So, once again, the surface in perfect condition here, as is the weather. Great night to watch footy. Thanks for your company too. You can join us 0433 98 11 16. Miles Fitzner and the 149 gamer Josh Jenkins. Back inside Sanders. Chain of handballs English. Caulfield. Gallagher, should I say. Tried to find a shorter option there in Harms. And it goes out of bounds on the full. And it'll go to Carl Amon. In his last season at Port Adelaide, polled more votes than Connor Rosey, who was also in the market for the Brownlow that year.
It's been a good pick-up for Hawthorn, I must say. Amon.
Hawthorn down the line. Commentary side of the ground. Still in the shade. Ball spills to the front of the pack. Warple spinning. Tried to find McDonald. Handball as he was wrapped up. Coming in hard though too was Hardwick. He's playing more up forward these days. Turnover. Now the Bulldogs try to link up, but sitting on top was Ginnivan. Umpire said, I'll have it.
So 8.5 minutes remaining in this first term. It's been largely all the Bulldogs, even though they've been inaccurate. English gets a hand on it, but Newcomb sharks it. Comes out of the stoppage beautifully. Can't quite find Lewis, who was on a charging lead. He was coming up at the ball. Newcomb just kicked it off the instep and just missed
old-fashioned daisy cutter
forward. Yeah, it was. Mitch Lewis was on the move. He had some separation from Liam Jones, which is hard to do. He's incredibly quick, Liam Jones, but the Hawks do get a throw in. Rucks go at it. English hits it down to Treloar. He kicks it off one step in the area of Nash and Bontempelli. A big collision. Nash up over the top. McNeil gives it back to Bontempelli. He clears to centre wing. Big contest this. Vandermeer first to the footy at ground level. Gives it to Waitman. He retreats. Kicks it back on the left foot to Harms. Get an uncontested mark. He waits for some of his teammates to catch up from defence. Takes another short, uncontested mark to Sanders, who's been involved in the game early.
His size.
He looks good, doesn't he?
He looks ready-made.
Yeah, slot him in round one, I think, if you can find a spot for him in that midfield. He kicks it to half forward, off hands, out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in.
Well, you know when they ask it at SEN to do the predictions, he's my rising star. From what I've seen so far, it's him on top for me.
Yeah, I like it. I went with Daniel Curtin. More hopeful than expecting, but hopefully we've got a deep crop of rising stars this year.
Boundary throw in 70 from home on the Bulldogs forward line, right half forward line. Huswaite gets the crumb off the front of the pack on his left down the line, and just half in the sunlight, a nice mark taken there by Nick Caulfield. Come over from the Saints. So Caulfield at right half back for the Dogs. Was back up the line again into the shade this time. Fly from English. Takes a nice mark in front of Reeves. English, short option, good by foot too, and was found West. He wheeled around. Ugle-Hagan's going to be the target deep in the pocket. He went one-handed, managed to crumb, then spin. Oh, thought he was going to have a shot, but no. Opted to the handball, and that would have been one for the highlight reel with the fend off, the spin, then the snap. It goes over the boundary line. Boundary throw in 35 metres around from the Bulldogs' goal in their right forward pocket. Hawthorn 6, Trail Western Bulldogs 16, thanks to Tyre Power.
I think he wanted to, but he thought, I better give a handball, and the indecision cost him. Reeves wins the hit out. Taps it straight down to Ward, but he's set upon by Ugle-Hagan. I'll tell you what, he's been involved in the game in every fashion available to him. Rucks go at it, no clear tap. Newcomb handballs it to McKenzie, the first goal scorer of the game. He bangs it as far as he can. Contest from Lewis is good. Warple is playing ahead of the foot. He gives it to Bruce. Nothing ahead of him, so he tries to create a ball, and he does it nicely. Hardwick has gone from back pocket to forward pocket. Impey's onto it. Vandermeer's onto him. They've got an opportunity. The Hawks, Mitch Lewis looks like he'll get a free kick. It was a loose attempt to tackle or bump from, I think it might have been Johannesson. And Mitch Lewis will get a free kick, a well-deserved free kick. The Hawks were almost out on a couple of occasions, but Lewis, who's had the ball a few times, kicked 36 goals from 15 games last year. He's my Coleman pick. If he can stay on the park, I will need to see him kick these ones if he's going to win a Coleman. He walks in and kicks truly. Mitch Lewis gets Hawthorn second, his first. And they deserve that because they certainly were able to create an opportunity for themselves. It was a nice contest initially from Lewis at half forward. Warple sharked it. Impey almost. And then may not have been as an obvious free kick as it looked in real time. So perhaps Giray it was coming over the top might have been a little bit unlucky, but Mitch Lewis doesn't care. He's got 6 points, and the Hawks 2 straight 12 trail the Dogs 2-4-14. Just under 6 minutes remaining here in the first term.
AFL Nation for McDonald's, a new McCrispy at Macca's. Miles Fitzner, Josh Jenkins with you right around the country for AFL Nation. Back in the centre of the ground, 2 goals apiece here. The umpire says, I'll have that one again.
What's your take on the bounce?
No, get rid of it.
I'd just have that play on.
Well, I say this every time I jump on. I'm like a broken record, but just throw it up like that. And it does the same thing.
Yeah, it does.
It does exactly the same thing.
It does it better.
It does it better. So the throw up went straight up. Surprise, surprise. Jumping in and underneath there was Riley West, son of a gun. They go forward and, Lob comes out and takes a one-hander. Just too strong in the contest, JJ.
And this is the area of the ground that I've got real concerns for the Hawks. So we know how good Sicily is. But he's better, being able to roam and read the footy. Frost, who's a big body, but he gets outmarked. And if any team is going to expose you in aerial contest, it'll be the Dogs.
The lob comes in, hits it nicely, just pulls it a shade to the left, through for another minor score, 2-5-17. The Dogs lead Hawthorn 2 straight 12 on the Type House scoreboard. It's who have they got coming through? Like, this is where Weddle's probably the big miss, at the moment. Even though he's at mid-size, still run and carry, but it's the key defenders for them. They're almost mosquito fleet like Hawthorn.
Yeah, it's why they're in the market for Mackay and Radigalea and couldn't land either.
Last year, they were the youngest and most experienced list. This year, they're their second youngest, so they're still in that rebuild phase, though.
Yeah, for sure. They've got plenty of talent. They move the footy quite nicely, but just defending these big forwards is a challenge. English tries to work Reeves under the footy. There's a free kick. Both ruckmen think it's theirs, which means no one's got any idea, but it's going to go to English. I think the more experienced, the higher reputation ruckman got that one. The ball's kicked inside 50. Lob gets hands to it again. Can't mark it. Vandermeer's onto it. He gets slung to the ground. Almost a dangerous tackle. Sicily receives the handball, and he'll clear to the outer side and find his teammate in McDonald. Flicks the handball out wider. Jones in a one-on-one against Lewis. That's a nice contest. Jones is able to punch it over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in on centre wing. 4 minutes or a tick over remaining.
Few off the text. Where's Ryan Gardner? Is he injured or didn't get selected tonight? Murray from Geelong. Well, he wasn't listed.
Keith's not there either.
And Keith's not there either. Why's Miles doing footy now? Still got no idea either off the text. Fantastic. 0499 0433 98 11 16. Free kick to Liberatore. About 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter of the AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation for McDonald's and new McCrispy at Macca's. So up inside 50 they go.
That's
Norton
the issue.
Takes the mark, and they're just too tall. I mean, you've got the likes of Sicily, and he's trying to do almost exactly what he can. Frost is 194 centimetres too, so they're your two keys. It's the size outside of that playing against a side like this that they've got 3 absolute monsters.
Well, Finn McInnes was standing shoulder to shoulder with Norton, and just no match for him.
So Norton runs in and sprays that way to the left, off the side of the boot almost, and it's another minor score. And It's something that the Bulldogs would probably want to tidy up, JJ, going into the season. 2-6-18. They lead Hawthorn 2 straight 12 on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard.
And he's inaccurate as well. The ball gets to the wing. Ginnivan kicks it. Just rushes it on the boot. It lands on the chest of Mitch Lewis. So the Hawks get to half forward in an instant. He tries to carve out a pass to Bruce, but it's cut off by Duray, the former Hawk. And he'll go to the outer side to Treloar. Handballs to Johannesson. He kicks it wider, just over the head of his intended teammate Gallagher. Yet to make his senior debut.
He goes all right too.
Yeah, they've got a few nice young players. Most of them are tall, but Gallagher and Sanders have looked good for the Dogs early in this game. We'll get a throw in. Reeves and English. Reeves gets the best position there. Nash tries to get after it. Sanders is after him. Newcomb just knocks up, getting the footy around clearance. Kicks it inside forward 50. Mabior Chol out position by Buku Karmas and takes a nice intercept mark. He tries to sizzle one back inside. It's not there. Newcomb cuts it off and he kicks it back inside. Finds a teammate. I don't know whether it was his intended target.
It's a great kick.
Oh, gee, there's a bit going on between Ginnivan, surprise, and Liam Jones. But at the end of the day, it looks like young Nick Watson who's got his hands on the footy. I don't reckon that was the intended target, but Watson doesn't care. He's got the footy and they've got high hopes for this young man. He's only 170 centimetres. Made this joke a few times. I don't know how much he weighs because we're not allowed to find out anymore.
Yeah, how many times we're going to run that this year?
I'm going to go with it all the time because I think it's ridiculous. But Watson comes in, proven goal kicker as a junior. He falls over. He puts his foot into the footy, but he fell over. He forgot to put the plant leg out. He fell straight on his backside. His teammates will have some fun with that early in the week. 2-6-18 the Dogs, 2-1-13 the Hawks late in the first term.
About a minute and a half remaining in the first quarter. AFL Nation for Macca's. The new McCrispy trite today at Macca's. Miles Fistner, Josh Jenkins with you. So out to the centre wing, far side of the ground. McKenzie managed to crumb into Newcomb. He's getting busy also. Sets it up inside 50, 2-on-1 and Karmas. Well, that's what he was. Karmas just drifted across in front. Took a nice little chest mark. 45-degree little lateral. And the Dogs looking to control possession in the last minute of the game. Saw the replay there of Watson falling over. You're spot on. He missed the plant leg.
Yeah.
So Duray up to centre wing, far side of the ground. Big punch comes across the front from Hawthorn, getting in there. Impey did the 360, got a handball away though. Ward in and under, gets wrapped up, takes it over the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw in. English doing some of the tackling work in the last 45 seconds. JJ, you can bring us home.
I've got a few mosquito fleet with Ginnivan and Watson and Ward and
Hardwick playing forward.
Hardwick, yeah, that'll be a role that's of some interest. Ball's thrown in. Sanders tries to get after it. Nash, who's a big-bodied midfielder, puts it out in the space for McDonald. For Mackenzie.
I like the look of those two, Mackenzie and Husway.
Yeah, Macca's all over the place. We love Macca's here. Ball's up. Reeves hits it down with his left hand. Impey's able to grab it. Kicks it forward on his left foot. It's high. And Duray takes a fine mark. Judged it beautifully. Luke Bruce had front position, but Duray, former teammate of, took the intercept mark, kicks it sideways to Vandermeer, who kicks it to English, who knocks up, getting the footy for a ruckman. Love his game style. He'll be spoken about all year in terms of how much you should or shouldn't pay him. Kicks it backwards to a teammate, and that's all she wrote for the first quarter. The Dogs certainly dominated, but were inaccurate. So we get to the end of the first quarter at UTAS Stadium in Launceston. The Dogs 2-6-18, the Hawks 2-1-13.
All thanks to Tyre Power, of course, your trusted tyre experts, and get the power and tackle road safety. You can join the conversation with us if you like. 0433 98 11 16. It's time to head to a break. Second quarter action on the other side of this. Miles Fitzner and Josh Jenkins for AFL Nation for McDonald's. A new McCrispy at Macca's.
You're listening
listening to the 2024 AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation.
Right now at Macca's, go large or medium or small. This month, get any soft drink, any size for just $1. Value means more at Macca's. Available at participating restaurants. Excludes McDelivery. Excludes frozen soft drinks.
Whether you're a busy household looking for family-friendly options or love the feel and comfort of luxurious natural wool, or maybe it's a healthy choice asthma-friendly carpet, then Choices Flooring has the range, colours, textures and savings you've been looking for during our Carpet by Design sale event. Go online at choicesflooring.com.au and discover the carpet solution that's just right for you. With savings across the range, now is the time to visit your nearest Choices Flooring showroom.
Wild scenes here as kids stage a lunch lockout, demanding Grandmother Ham in their school lunches. I'm joined now by a mother of one of the children. How do you feel about the lunch lockout?
Well, I hate seeing half-eaten sandwiches, and we all want the best for our kids.
Well, the kids want it, parents want it too. Beat the lunch lockout with Grandmother Ham from Barclay Smokehouse. Ask for Grandmother Ham at your local deli.
Here's another top tyre tip from Tyre Power. We all want to get more kilometres from each tank. Did you know that your tyres can affect your car's fuel efficiency? Always make sure your tyre pressure is right and that your wheels are properly balanced and aligned. If in doubt, give the experts a shout at Tyre Power. It's just another way Tyre Power is helping you save. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 132191 for your local independent owner.
I went to the shops and I bought bread. Plain, white bread. But even the boringest purchases can lead to the awesomest rewards when you use the Kogan Money credit card. Pay no annual fee, earn points to spend at Kogan.com, plus get free Kogan First membership for free shipping and rewards. Search Kogan Money credit card. Kogan.com. Clickin' awesome. T's and C's, other fees and charges apply. Credit provider, National Australia Bank Limited.
Robot Building Supplies is a family-run business and understands the value of being home with the family.
Robots got it.
That's why they have supplies to help you build a man cave, a kid's game room, a tool shed.
Robots got it.
Helping build family time and man caves since 1946.
Robots got it.
Robot Building Supplies. Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. We're robot, but we're human. robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
If you're a driver, rider, pedestrian or bystander and been injured in a road accident, you could be entitled to compensation. Arnold, Thomas and Becker can advise on all your entitlements, which could be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars and is in addition to what is provided by the TAC. Talk directly to an Arnold, Thomas and Becker lawyer and start your claim today. Arnold, Thomas and Becker Lawyers, securing compensation for Victorians for over 50 years. And if there's no win, there's no fee. Call 1300 333 300.
Whether you're a busy household looking for family-friendly options or love the feel and comfort of luxurious natural wool, or maybe it's a healthy choice asthma-friendly carpet, then Choices Flooring has the range, colours, textures and savings you've been looking for during our Carpet by Design sale event. Go online at choicesflooring.com.au and discover the carpet solution that's just right for you. With savings across the range, now is the time to visit your nearest Choices Flooring showroom.
Right now at Macca's, go large or medium or small. This month, get any soft drink, any size for just $1. Value means more at Macca's. Available at participating restaurants. Excludes McDelivery. Excludes frozen soft drinks.
You're listening to the 2024 AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation.
Hawthorn get the first look at it.
Mackenzie.
Around on the left from Mackenzie, and it's a beautiful finish from the young man. If you don't mind, Mackenzie just goes bang.
Jamari's getting busy on his bike. He turns wheels around, hits it from 52. Umpire doesn't move. And if it's shades of what we're about to see this season, he'll be the human highlight reel. At left half forward for the Bulldogs. They go back inside 50 once more. Ball spills over the back lot. Managed to get a fingertip on it. McNeil kicked it 4 in the practice game. Underground handball to Norton, and he kicks his first. Well, welcome back, AFL Nation, for McDonald's and Emmett Crispy at Macca's. Miles Fitzner, the 149 gamer, 249 goals. Josh Jenkins looks evenly poised this match so far. JJ?
Yeah, well, only because the Dogs have kicked so inaccurately. I think they have dominated at stoppage, and they've also got a clear advantage aerially in the front half of the ground. Now, Frost is there, Sicily's there, but certainly the Dogs, big boys, have looked good. They've looked dangerous, and they've looked dangerous in more ways than just in the air. So, you know, Ugelhagen and Norton have had opportunities. Lob's been involved as well. So the Dogs have started well. I reckon Sam Mitchell would want just a little bit more competition around stoppages for the Hawks.
A few quick stats. Impey for 10, Newcomb 9, Amon 9 and McKenzie 8. 2-1-13 Hawthorn trail. The Western Bulldogs 2-6, 18 on the Tyre Power scoreboard. JJ.
Underway in the second quarter. Warple gets hands on it first. Reeves tries to get his hand on the ball as well, but a free kick will go the way of Liberatore. Right smack bang in the centre of Utah Stadium. He plays on that left foot to get as much distance as he can. Bangs it inside 50. Norton comes out, almost takes a big grab. Can't quite. Treloar tries to get hands on it. Nash. Ball ends up with Newcomb. He kicks it beautifully around the corner. It's a fine kick out of defence and finds Watson, who will quickly learn that high half forward role. He kicks it to Impey, not far enough, so Watson gets it back, slams it on the left foot, lands fortuitously in the arms of big Reeves, who's able to find Hardwick at half forward, and the Hawks will look to go inside 50.
Zigzagging up the wing, so Massimo D'Ambrioso on his left just pulls the kick inboard, hits the paint of 50. Lewis tried to turn inside, big tackle. He sat on his backside, flicked the handball away, goes over the boundary line right near the junction. 54 metres from home on the right half forward for Hawthorn. Those just joining us on AFL Nation, Hawthorn now kicking to the right of your radio dial, and the Western Bulldogs to the left. So the throw-in, about 55 out, lob, tapped out in front. Bontempelli sort of kept it to himself. They try to link up now through Harms. Now to Treloar, back to Harms. A bit of 1-2. Just overdid it. 1, 2, 3, 4, should I say. Harms again. Kicks across his body. Has options up forward. Bontempelli. He outsides Warple. Flicked the handball wider. Managed to find West. So up. Inside 50 they go. And the lead came out from McNeil. And he's been a good pick-up. He looked potent for Woodville West Torrens when he was over there in SA, and he kicked 4 goals in that match sim the other day, and he's fighting for, well, the best 22 spot really, isn't he, JJ?
Yeah, Waitman's there, prime small forward, but this guy can play a part as well. So from 30 metres out directly in front, his teammates have been unable to kick goals, and the Breeze just grabs that one. It looked like a nice drop punt, but the ball just drifted across the face from left to right, Tom Hawkins style, and he's unable to kick the goal. So again, the Dogs 2-7-19 lead the Hawks 2-1-13. It should be much, much greater, but it's just a 6-point margin for AFL Nation for McDonald's, the new McCrispy at Macca's.
So left half back, Ward pulled the kick, found Nash through the corridor or the fringe of Karmas, getting back there at right half back for the Dogs. He gets wrapped up straight away by Marbiot Chol, pushed into the turf. Ball goes over the boundary line. We've gone 2.5 in the second quarter here. 2-7-19. The Dogs lead the Hawks 2-1-13. All thanks to Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts. 0433 98 11 16 to join the conversation. Miles Fitzner and Josh Jenkins with you. So Ward, one-handed pick-up, had the duck wing tackle. Couldn't get a hand to it. Bontempelli tried to flick a handball away. Warple overran it. Charging it was English. Ginnivan grabbed him. He's out of his weight division, but he said, I want a piece. The umpire said, I'll have it. It couldn't be more mismatched blokes on the ground than those two. He loves it.
He loves it. He loves it. Ball's thrown up. Plenty of players around the footy. Nash could have been a high contact free kick to Watson, but it's not. Ginnivan gets his hands on it, and he knows exactly what to do with the footy inside 50. Across the body, Jack Ginnivan, his first unofficial goal for the Hawks, but it's an absolute beauty. And that's what happens. The Dogs have wasted chance after chance after chance. Jack Ginnivan turns a half chance into a goal, and it's the nicest goal we've seen thus far this evening. It was a nice pick-up and a beautiful finish from 40 metres out. He flushed it on the right boot, and just a little lacklustre defending at stoppage. You can't give Jack Ginnivan that much space, and Hawks fans will be hoping that's the first of many.
The power he gets for a kick across the body from 45 for a guy his size, he just hits the ball so sweetly.
Timing, all about timing. You're a gun golfer, you know about the timing of off the tee.
Don't know about that. 2-7-19, the Bulldogs and Hawthorn 3-1-19, all thanks to Tyre Power. Bit of a blood rule there.
Looks like Phillips it might be. Coming from the ground.
Can't quite get a look just yet. So, 4.5 gone. AFL Nation right around the country. Looking forward to the season opener next week. Back in the middle of the ground. English v Reeves. Liberatore managed to get a yard. He had his shorts pulled onto. Treloar, he tried to shrug one as well. A lot of handballs over the shoulders here for the Bulldogs. English snap across his body blind. Sanders, one-handed crumb. Back to Liberatore. Took his time. Left boot and pushes it across the face. It's that breeze just slightly working from left to right if you're looking straight down the ground for the Bulldogs. And a minor score, another one for the Bulldogs, 2-8-20. They lead Hawthorn 3-1-19, all thanks to Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts.
Yeah, they're leaving some chances out there. Amon brings it back into play. That's a throw almost from McDonald, but the umpire lets him get away with it. Warple ends up with it. Flicks it out wide and in plenty of space.
Ward.
They're able to kick it forward through Ward. It was an end-over-end ball. Lewis says that's not the supply I'm looking for, and he runs the ball over the boundary line. He's an impressive athlete, Mitch Lewis. I was slow to his party, but I've arrived and I'm going to be last to leave. I love the way he goes about it. He's a big, powerful athlete. He's an accurate kick. The ball's thrown back in. Big Reeves able to work it down to his left hip, but Waitman, a forward coming up to the stoppage, is first onto the footy. McGuinness handballs it back. He almost gets it back again. He does. Handballs it to Amon, the former Power winger, who's happy to see it over the boundary line. And will have a throw in.
So non-commentary. Half the ground now in shade here at UTAS Stadium. And we're just to the left of centre wing, just favouring the Western Bulldogs. English v Reeves comes down to McKenzie. Kicks back through the corridor up towards centre half forward. Getting across was Karmas. He did well against Chol. Chol wrapped him up. Thought Karmas might have had a yard on, and umpire said, no, I'll have it. 7 minutes gone, second quarter. Perfect conditions for football, just with that slight breeze. Not favouring either end, blowing across the ground. Ball went up, came down. Have another thrower. Mention again that last year Hawthorn 16th with 7 wins and 16 losses. The Bulldogs, they just missed out. They were 9th with 12 wins and 11 losses. Both teams looking to improve significantly on that. And in the practice match, the Bulldogs took care of Hawthorn 108-83. Match before this, but missing a lot of players. Waitman out to Sanders, goes up to right half forward. Liberatore had 2 to beat. McGuinness, he did well, and umpire said no, it was out of bounds. Didn't quite keep it in. Scrimshaw back there as well. And umpire will throw it in from almost exactly the same spot as he was before.
In the earlier game, Adelaide gave West Coast a frightful belting at West Adelaide, Richmond Oval.
Good old Richmond Oval.
Yeah, it was a hammering. So West Coast fans won't feel much better about themselves just yet as DeRay bangs it inside forward 50. Norton comes out, meets it, can't mark. Liberatore's in and amongst it as he always is. Vandermeer handball over the top. Bontempelli ends up with it from Treloar. He swings around on that prodigious left foot of his, but again, a minor score. So the Dogs, they continue to pepper away 2-9. Yes, 2-9-21. They lead the Hawks by 2 points, 3-1-19. They've had 11 scoring shots to 4 for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts.
So back Through left half back for Hawthorn. Reeves took the mark, elected to play on to go to McKenzie. Handball didn't hit him. McNeil cleaned up and, well, Reeves just rode him into the ground. That's in the back.
Turning one mistake into two. Handballed it at his feet and then dived into his back.
In rugby league, that's a flop, isn't it? So McNeil up. Big fly English. Couldn't gather. Lob was front and centre, and you see the big ruckman. He had the knee in Reeves' back and got up there.
He felt that.
The big boy.
He felt that, Reeves, too, right in the middle of the back.
Rightio. Throw up. 40 metres out. Slide angle. Down the Nash. He's wrapped up by Waitman and Bontempelli. Umpire said, give it to me, I'll go again. So stoppage then sort of down the line, kicking what we're seeing from both teams a little bit here at the moment. Not really able to do much damage across their half-forward lines. McNeil, he was fumbly. Frost got in there. That's a throw. You can't do that with one hand. That's old school, the old one-handed shovel. And it'll be a free kick going to McNeil.
He's almost, Sam Frost, he's almost tried to roll it back to himself to be able to pick it up because his left arm was accounted for, and I've got no idea how he thought he was going to get away with that.
That's a throw. Lockie McNeil. So the 7 touches. The one behind before. He hit it nicely. It just faded off to the right. And this one, he started left and kept it left.
Didn't come back.
No interaction from the breeze. And the show goes on for the Bulldogs with their minor scores. 2-10-22. They lead Hawthorn. 3-1-19. 10 minutes gone on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard.
The Hawks get themselves into a bit of a mess, but Amon clears it, gets it to centre wing. Ball's in dispute at ground level. Duray's first onto it, gets it back to Harms. He gives it to Richards. A fine player off half-back is Ed Richards. Handballs it to Bailey Williams. He gives it to Sanders, who's been busy. Oh, that's a shocking kick inside forward 50. Frost can't mark. Liberatore goes down and picks it up. He flicks it out. That was probably a throw as well. Huswaite's able to find a bit of space, gets it to Ginnivan, who's in the back half of the ground. He kicks it nicely to a teammate at half-back in Newcomb. And the Hawks will just look to spread the ground. They're very congested in the back half, so they'll just want to allow their teammates to have time to spread the ground. In offense, you want to make the ground as big as you can, and in defense, you want to make it small. Newcomb's got the ball back at half-back. He's a busy player.
What a recruit for Hawthorn.
He's a fine player. Hawks fans absolutely love him. He kicks it long down the line. Bruce is able to get the footy after Duray dropped the mark. He kicks it beautifully inside forward 50 to Watson, who kicks it to Ginnivan, who plays on. Probably shouldn't have, but he kicks it around the body, and not one, but two for Jackie G. Similar to the previous that he kicked. This one not from as far out, but equally creative. Probably didn't need to play on. Probably also didn't know there was a Bulldogs player to his right. He was able to step around him. And again, that familiar kick across the body. Jack Ginnivan, he's been busy because he started that chain of play deep in defence. He ran all the way down the ground, kicked a fine goal. And the Hawks, thanks to some accuracy, lead this game 4-1-25. Jack Ginnivan's got 2 of the 4. The Dogs, 2 goals, 10-22. So
just give it a bit of the mixing bowl too. There.
Mix it up.
Yeah, mix it up. Well,
stir it up.
It's the composure.
What does that mean?
It's the composure for the sidestep though. Balance, execute. They got him on the slingshot in the Hawks. The Bulldogs, far too inaccurate. Chol, the lob, big fend off.
Chol will get the free kick there.
It'd be a high fend off there from Harms for sure. No advantage play on to McKenzie. So Chol.
That's good follow-up from Chol, though. He's got all the attributes to be a good second ruck, and he showed it there.
Hit McKenzie short. McKenzie wheeled around, pulled the kick inside, and found Newcomb. And that's poor defending by the Bulldogs. They had plenty of time from the free kick in the middle of the ground to set up in front of the football. And Newcomb was found on a 45-degree angle. He'll have to kick this from 54 metres out. But he stopped and turned around and said, I want it straight away, but just completely unmanned, JJ.
They're right on top here in the second half. Sam Mitchell would have asked for an improved effort around the stoppages, and he's got an immediate response. So Newcomb, this will be right on his range, but he's got a bit of a breeze behind him from 53 or 4. Gives it everything, and it hits the woodwork halfway up. He'd absolutely thumped it. No issues about the distance. but slams it into the woodwork. Once upon a time in the pre-season games, that was play on. That was strange, I can tell you that.
Certainly was.
I'm glad we haven't implemented that rule, but 4-2-26 the Hawks. They lead the Dogs 2-10-22 for tyre power, your trusted tyre expert. The ball's turned over. Hawks able to bang it back inside 50 again, and a fine mark, a big mark, is taken there by Connor McDonald. He looks a likely type as well. He's just looking around the corner. Ginnivan and Harms are going at it again. He's been involved in a few little... He only knows one way, doesn't he? Well, and Harms likes a little fracas too. McDonald, as the AFL player does these days, goes round the corner, bends it back beautifully, and the Hawks have got another. That is a nice finish. The Hawks have put on quite the display of kicking around the body. Ginnivan's done it twice. And Connor McDonald looks a nice size. He's able to repeat the dose himself. It was a bit of a mess from Lobb. Probably should have marked that. Yeah, just should have put the arms out. Chol was able to get involved, and the ball was kicked back inside 50 from D'Ambrosio, who's been good. And that was a nice mark from a young player who duly kicked truly. So the Hawks all of a sudden 5-2-32, the Dogs 2-10-22. They're in complete control, the Hawks.
Yeah, they certainly are. Kicking straight. It was good there from Watson to draw the defender too. Just feign one way or the other. It's good awareness. Back in the centre of the ground. 32 plays 22 thanks to tyre power. And English v Chol in the ruck. 3 clubs for Mabior Chol. On the tap this time, Treloar. Well, he's kicked it over his head, Ibrahimovic style. McNeil back to English. They go inside 50 once more to the Bulldogs. The Sun playing a little bit of havoc here. Ugle-Hagan managed to jump up. He tried to shrug 1, 2, 3, but too many. It's got to be holding the footy.
Had to be.
Had to be.
Don't mind seeing that from him, though. Let's just test them out, see if they can tackle you, but they could.
So Impey, who's starting to rack them up across half back there. John Newcomb at 13, Liberatore 11. Impey's had the 11, Bontempelli 11 and Amon 11. Treloar and McKenzie, and as well as Henry Huswaite, all 10 possessions. Back inside 50, the Dogs go once more. Big pack of players form, getting in and under West. Back there was Impey, tried to soccer off the ground, sidestep from Vandermeer. And then a big tackle laid by Warple. Umpire said, I'll have it. Ball up about 15 out.
Gallagher it was trying to suck the umpire in. The Dogs almost 40 minutes since their last goal, which was their second. Hawks clear. Bruce, who looks in mid-season form, kicks it to his partner in crime in Lewis, who gives the handball to Hardwick. He's been deployed in a new attacking role. He handballs it to McKenzie, kicks it inside to Ginnivan, who's been the man of the second quarter. The former Collingwood Premiership star. He's got 2 goals to his name. They were both snaps. This will be a drop punt. It's going to take his best effort. He's been busy coming up for disposal number 7. 2 very fine goals in this quarter. He holds the ball sideways as he likes to do. Just gets a look at the footy. Rubs the brown and gold long sleever with the black headband and the long hair. It's close to the man on the mark. Gives it absolutely everything and pushes it across the face, looking for that extra distance.
Has he slimmed up just a fraction? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Just slimmed up and put a bit
the
of
brown and gold.
Top. Yeah, or the
different jumper.
Stripes do him justice, you think?
Yeah, well, he's just changed the colour of the stripes, hasn't he? He's got the same jumper on.
What do they say? That black's most favouring?
Yeah.
White, white's not flattering, is it?
No. Well, maybe brown and gold is.
Richards, left half back for the Doggies, sort of took the 58 degree to that, cut off by Impey. Warple, wrapped up by Treloar. The kick goes dead square and inboard. Harms on his left, another dinky kick. Barely 15 finds McNeil. So the ground nearly in full shade, probably 15 minutes away. We've got About 19 minutes in the second quarter. Ugle-Hagan, the target, does get a little sit. Impey sat in under. Harms with a high fend off to Warple. They're deep inside enemy territory here are the Bulldogs. Ugle-Hagan pulls a kick across the face of goal. Unselfish in the team game. And the mark is taken by Bailey Williams. He should make short work of this, JJ. That's a genuine 45-degree angle, 15, 20 metres out.
Should, but he's not a noted goal kicker, 127 games and only 29 goals, but he should. He comes in and you've stopped him. You've absolutely stopped him. It was closer to out in the full than it was a goal.
Oh, my God. That's fair, Nickham.
You've dead set stopped him. So the Dogs waste another one, 2-11-23. They trail the Hawks 5-3-33 as the Hawks look to attack again.
So McKenzie tried to find Impey on the overlap. Scrimshaw tucked it under his arm at half-back, goes wide at a Huswaite. He's putting a good game together, the young fella. So the kick leads out towards Bruce, the veteran. Sidestep one way, the other. Pulls the kick inboard to Ginnivan. He takes a mark at about 10 metres in from the boundary, 35 out. And this is snap territory for Jack, JJ.
Yeah, it is. He does. This is where you really need to flush it. But it's an interesting blend. You can't overkick the footy, but you do have to get plenty of purchase because it's got to travel 40, 45 metres.
So Ginnivan, for his third of the quarter, he kicked it one at the 3-minute 30 mark and at the 12-minute mark. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, hit across the body, bending back and missed. Stop a freight train at the moment.
Had the journey, no worries. Just too much hook on it.
5-4-34. Hawthorn lead the Western Bulldogs. 2-11. You heard that correctly. 2-11-23 on the Tyre Power Get the Power and Tackle Road Safety scoreboard.
Dogs look to push the ball long and wide. Lobs in the one-on-one. Can't mark. Hawthorn have got numbers. And in fact will win a free kick. Riley West is pinged for a push in the back. Jarman Impey, a former power defender, will be the recipient of the free kick. He just shields his eyes from the sun, which is almost gone. Bangs it high and long inside forward 50, and Buku Kamas just floating across the front. It'll go down as a contested mark, but it was basically uncontested. He takes a nice mark in defence. He kicks it basically exactly where it came from to English. Can't mark. Scrimshaw tries to spoil. English gets it back, gives it to Treloar. He tries to handball it to Sanders. The Hawks are able to turn it over through Warple. He gets it to Ginnivan, who's been busy. Nash, Scrimshaw. Oh, they're under. Gone.
Big tackle.
Gone. It was great forward pressure from the Dogs. And I tell you what, there's just a little bit more feeling in this game than you'd expect.
I was going to ask you at half-time, the difference from the match sim game to this game is extraordinary in terms of intensity.
It is, yeah.
Extraordinary.
I went to a couple of the match sims live, and there would be a goal kick and they'd go and do a throw-in. They were completely manipulating the game, but of course an official dress rehearsal, and there's a little bit of feeling in this game as the Dogs, through West, look to go forward. Ugle-Hagan just got rid of the younger body in Phillips. Takes a nice grab. Ugle-Hagan, who's been busy, has had 7 disposals, 1 goal, 1. Doesn't waste any time at all. Struts in, bangs it from downtown, and just misses. So again, he's got a wry smile on his face, but Jamara, if this is round 1, the Doggies fans in the crowd ain't smiling because you've kicked 2 goals, 12-24, and you trail the Hawks 5-4-34, a 10-point margin. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the second term. This is AFL Nation for Macca's, the new McCrispy at Macca's.
McDonald found Bruce, centre wing. Go up towards left half forward. Getting back was Hardwick. Tried the chain of handballs, goes over the boundary line. 5-4-34, Hawthorn lead the Bulldogs, 2-12-24. We've got 4 minutes remaining of the second quarter. And for AFL Nation, for McDonald's, the new McCrispy tried today at Macca's. Halftime show, all thanks to Choices Flooring, of course, coming up. If you've got a text, 0433 98 11 16. There's a couple in there offering some sound advice on political issues. Unbelievable. Newcomb coming up to centre half forward for his side, the Hawks. McKenzie getting front and centre to Lewis. near the paint, the junction, sets it up to the hot spot. 15 metres out, the big fly from Joel. Hardwick front and centre, he went one-handed. McDonald wrapped up and stripped Buku Kamas. He gets wrapped up by Bontempelli. Umpire said, I'll have it. Ball up, 15 out directly in front.
See, that's one Big Mabby or Joel would love to have again. Had his name written all over that, but Kamas was able to reach over and spoil it, so the rucks go at it. Reeves, who's probably been more successful in the ruck contest. Jones handballs it wider to Bramble, who we haven't seen much of. He wins a free kick.
Picked up in the SSP, of course, from Hawthorn.
Yes, so he'll know the Hawks boys well, and they'll know him well, but he wins himself a free kick and quite cleverly kicks it to the captain in Bontempelli, who wastefully, off one step, kicks it out of bounds in front of James Harms, who says, I've worked my tail off and you just put it on my chest, Bont.
You can't imagine the coach, Luke Beveridge, would be happy with this skill execution with goal kicking and all kicking from the Bulldogs in general.
Nah, not at all. The Hawks been totally on top in this second quarter around stoppage. Newcomb scrubbers it, but Richards is able to grab it. Takes a bounce, then evades a tackler, thumps it to centre wing. Ugelhagen in best position, stays on his feet, stays in the contest. Frost mops it up. It's a hot handball for Sicily, the skipper. Bont's in there. Geez, he's working hard, the Bont. He gets wrapped up by Sicily, and he will be penalised for diving on the footy. He grabs Sicily's leg. Sicily goes down.
What's going on here?
Bont and Frost are into it.
They want to scrap.
They do. There's no love lost between these two teams, even though it's early March.
So much for the AAMI Community Series.
Yeah, there's not much community about this. The ball's
isn't.
Kicked inside forward 50. Looks like it'll be a free kick to Hardwick. He almost marked the footy anyway, but certainly there was a hold there from DeRay. And Hardwick, the two number 15s going at it. Hardwick has won himself a free kick. Of course, he's playing this new role as a pressure forward. He's only kicked the 8 goals from 147 games. So he's on the runway. He would have had to create a routine for himself in front of goal. He kicks it low and he pulls it a little bit, misses to the left. And the Hawks just waste a couple. 5-5-35 lead the Dogs 2-12-24. Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the second term for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts.
Joe Hannison to bring the ball in, comes across to our commentary position, or left half back for the Doggies. Free kick paid. It's going to go against English to Sicily. So Hawthorn looking for re-entry. 75 from home. The kick goes to Lewis in the pocket, and it was a big lead. It was a better kick. And Lewis, 5-7 metres maybe in from the boundary in the right forward pocket, about 40 out. It'll take some kick, but it's not beyond him, Josh Jenkins.
No, he's a beautiful kick of the footy. He's a nice specimen, to be honest. I didn't think he'd make it. There was a time there where I just didn't think he'd make it. Him and Kaczynski were struggling, but he is a fine player.
So Lewis from 48 hit it absolutely sweet as a button. Make no mistake, when you hit them like that, you'll kick plenty more. He gets his second, and Hawthorn 6-5-41. They lead the Bulldogs, and an accurate Bulldogs, 2-12-24. 1 minute remaining, and you're listening to AFL Nation for McDonald's, the new McCrispy at Macca's. Josh Jenkins.
I'm feeling good about the Coleman prediction.
How sweet did he hit that?
Yeah, he flushed that. It was a nice lead. There wasn't much space available to him. James Sicily, the best kick in the Hawthorn team. He nearly swallowed it, Lewis. It was that good a kick. But it's a beautiful action.
It's the old trot away when you hit it that sweet.
Yeah,
you just trot away.
He's a beautiful athlete. Got plenty of time for him. He just needs to stay healthy. That's been his issue. 66 games.
Last 5 of the game, Hawthorn have kicked.
Yep.
The last 5.
2 for Ginnivan. Lewis gets that one. Reeves is up. English tries to get it on the second attempt. Tries to get it on the third attempt. Overruns the ball. Newcomb just pushes him off the footy. Finds a teammate. It's a loose handball, though. Libber's onto it. Gives it to Vandermeer. He gives it to Waitman, who gives it to Treloar. Wider again. It goes to Bailey Williams. Kicks it inside forward 50 and finds Harms. 47 metres from goal. They'd like to be in the corridor. Harms is not confident. Lowers the eyes, kicks it to Ugle-Hagan on the move. He gets hands on it, doesn't mark. Tries to butter up at ground level. Williams is down there. He's taken down. Bontempelli picks it up, goes around, smothered. Looked like he was going to get a shot for goal. Didn't. Newcomb again. He's knocking up, getting the footy. And McKenzie clears for the Hawks.
The big smother by Scrimshaw before. Probably saved the goal. So bouncing at centre wing far side. Choley just decides to dance around on the spot. Doesn't get tackled. A pretty lazy handball. Trying to find Huswaite. Chain of handballs now into Trelawney. Pulls the kick inside on the half-time siren. And that'll be all she wrote for the first half, live from UTAS Stadium. Hawthorn, 6-5-41, lead the Western Bulldogs 2-12-24 on the Tyre Power. Get the power and tackle the road safety scoreboard. You're listening to AFL Nation for McDonald's, the new McCrispy at Macca's. Miles Fitzner, Josh Jenkins back on the other side of this as we get into the Choices Flooring halftime show. Back in a moment.
You're listening to the 2024 AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation.
Right now at Macca's, go large or medium or small. This month, get any soft drink, any size for just $1. Value means more at Macca's.
Available at participating restaurants. Excludes McDelivery. Excludes frozen soft drinks.
Whether you're a busy household looking for family-friendly options or love the feel and comfort of luxurious natural wool, or maybe it's a healthy choice asthma-friendly carpet, then Choices Flooring has the range, colours, textures and savings you've been looking for during our Carpet by Design sale event. Go online at choicesflooring.com.au and discover the carpet solution that's just right for you. With savings across the range, now is the time to visit your nearest Choices Flooring showroom.
Here's another tyre safety message from Tyre Power. If you're serious about safety on the road for you and your family, then you need a free tyre safety check from Tyre Power. There's so much more to it than just wear and tear and correct tyre pressure. If in doubt, give the experts a shout at Tyre Power and get a free tyre safety check. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local independent owner.
Wild scenes here as kids stage a lunch lockout, demanding grandmother ham in their school lunches. Now, I've managed to get hold of a grandmother ham sandwich to really see what all the fuss is about. Wow. Well, now I understand why kids want grandmother ham in their school lunches. It's totally delicious. Beat the lunch lockout with grandmother ham from Barclay Smokehouse. Ask for grandmother ham at your local deli.
Kia's most awarded SUV just got better. Get ready for the new, refined 7-seat Kia Sorento. Now with a dual 12.3-inch panoramic display and Kia Connect technology. Visit kia.com.au to find out more.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
When it happens in sport, SEN has you covered, no matter where you are. Whether it's happening here.
Cross-court forehand, Medvedev up the line by Sinner.
Here.
Here's the Nagoi moment. He unloads. Bang!
Or even over there.
It's full run. No, it's knocked over the boundary rope. Pat Cummins drops his battered helmet and wheels away in celebration.
All around the country and the world. SEN is right there for the big moments.
They can still win. Get up, boys. They can still win. They can still win. Yeah!
Expert commentary and analysis.
They need cover in other positions because their recruitment is like an odd pair of socks, to be honest.
Podcasts.
The Sounding Board with Craig Hutchison and Damien Barrett.
And the latest breaking news.
The AFL's called a CEO's meeting.
So whether it's night games in the NT, tense finishes in Tassie, or anything in between, remember, SEN has you covered everywhere. Find your channel on the SEN app today. SEN, your home of sport.
Whether you're a busy household looking for family-friendly options or love the feel and comfort of luxurious natural wool, or maybe it's a healthy choice asthma-friendly carpet, Then Choices Flooring has the range, colours, textures and savings you've been looking for during our Carpet by Design sale event. Go online at choicesflooring.com.au and discover the carpet solution that's just right for you. With savings across the range, now is the time to visit your nearest Choices Flooring showroom.
Right now at Macca's, go large or medium or small. This month, get any soft drink, any size for just $1. Value means more at Macca's.
Available at participating restaurants. Excludes McDelivery. Excludes frozen soft drinks.
You're listening to the 2024 AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation.
Hawthorn get the first look at it.
Mackenzie.
Around on the left from Mackenzie, and it's a beautiful finish from the young man. If you don't mind, Mackenzie just goes bang.
Jamari's getting busy on his bike. He turns, wheels around, hits it from 52. Umpire doesn't move. And if it's shades of what we're about to see this season, he'll be the human highlight reel. At left half forward for the Bulldogs. They go back inside 50 once more. Ball spills over the back lot. Managed to get a fingertip on it. McNeil kicked it forward in the practice game. Underground handball to Norton, and he kicks his first.
Plenty of plays around the footy. Nash could have been a high contact free kick to Watson, but it's not. Ginnivan gets his hands on it, and he knows exactly what to do with the footy inside 50. Across the body, Jack Ginnivan, his first unofficial goal for the Hawks, but it's an absolute beauty. Kicks it long down the line. Bruce is able to get the footy after Duray dropped the mark. He kicks it beautifully inside forward 50 to Watson, who kicks it to Ginnivan, who plays on. Probably shouldn't have, but he kicks it around the body, and not one, but two for Jackie G.
So Lewis from 48 hit it absolutely sweet as a button. Make no mistake, when you hit them like that, you'll kick plenty more. He gets his second.
The Choices Flooring Halftime Floor Show. Design, visualise and create your perfect floor with Room View.
Welcome back to AFL Nation for McDonald's and New McCrispy at Macca's, and this is the Choices Flooring Halftime Floor Show. Discover your style with Carpets by Design. Sale on at the moment. Choices Flooring sale is now on. Miles Fitzner with you, Josh Jenkins, and well, we're seeing an accurate Hawthorn, JJ, 6-5-41, lead an inaccurate Western Bulldogs, 2-12-24, and just poor kicking and poor skill execution from the Bulldogs have really kept them out of the AAMI Community Series game here at UTAS Stadium.
Yeah, well, it looked early days in the first half of the first quarter that the Dogs might dominate this game, but when you leave so many chances on the table as they have, 14 scoring shots to 11, yet they trail by 17 points, it's something we see a fair bit. Bad kicking is bad football, and bad goal kicking can kill you. And that's what's happened here for the Dogs. And to the Hawks' credit, they lifted their intensity in the second quarter and completely took over.
We'll run through some stats. 186 disposals to 161 in favour of Hawthorn. 86 to 68 handballs in favour of Hawthorn, but 29 to 21, 8 more inside 50s for the Western Bulldogs. And their efficiency inside 50 were 44.8%, of course, for the Western Bulldogs v 52.4%. For Hawthorn. The stoppages, the hit-outs well in favour of the Hawks, and you wouldn't have thought so much with Reeves in there. 27 to 13 with English back in the side for the Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs winning the clearances 15 to 20, JJ.
Yeah, it was Reeves has been good in the ruck. English is not, he's rarely the dominant tap ruckman, but he's so good around the ground, so Reeves needs to make the most of his opportunities in the ruck contests. But it was 28 in terms of the scoreboard in the second quarter, 28 to 6. So the Hawks kicked 4 goals, 4, and the Dogs kicked 6. They're all points. So they should be either much closer, if not even in front, which sounds strange when they're down by 17 points at half time. But that has been the story of the half for the Dogs, just terrible goal kicking, and it hasn't been one play. They've all taken turns in terms of missing set shots for goal, so they'll be looking to clean that up because it's been an issue for them across the past couple of years, their set shot accuracy. You
can join the conversation at any time, 0433 98 11 16. I mean, Sharon's text in from Taylor's from Lakes Entrance, should I say. Daniel asking if he was listening to the footy or to Saturday Trackside. Of course, fair question. Logman's asked if I can go help him draft some sheep tomorrow. Good on you, Logman. Seeing that we're in the area. A couple of people questioning me on whether or not I'm politically correct or not, which is perfect off the text, but we take them all. 04 33 98 11 16. We'll run through some player stats for both sides. We'll start with Hawthorn. John Newcomb racking them up, 17 disposals. Jarman Impey, 15. JJ Cam McKenzie, who I really like the look of, 14 disposals from him. Carl Amon's the 14. Henry Hustwaite, the 12. Warple, 11. And then you get to Sicily, Connor McDonald, Mitch Lewis and Ginnivan, 9. Your goal kickers, of course, Jack Ginnivan has kicked a couple. John Newcomb has kicked one. Nick Watson has kicked one, of course. And Lewis has kicked the 2. We move over to the Bulldogs. And, well, it's a tale of two tapes. JJ at the moment. Adam Treloar leading the way with 14 disposals. Liberatore, Marcus Bontempelli with 13. McNeil 12. Harms has got the 11. And then there's a handful on 10 disposals with Vandermeer and Sanders. And, well, the goal scorers for them are Jamara Ugle-Hagan has kicked the 1, as has Norton. So not too many contributing on the scoreboard.
No, not at all. In terms of team stats, it's a surprise to see the Dogs trailing. They've had 25 less disposals. Typically they have 30, 40, 50, 60 more disposals than their opposition, such as the way they play the game and like to handball the footy. But the Hawks have had much more of the ball. Contested possession, plus 10 to the Hawks. That's always a key metric. Marks pretty even. Marks inside 50 is dead even, 7 apiece. Clearances plus 5 to the Dogs, but they just haven't been able to capitalise on those clearances. So it should be a closer game, but clearly, as we've said numerous times, the Dogs just have been unable to kick accurately, and I wonder if that breeze just dies down ever so slightly as we enter the evening here in Launceston.
Yeah, the full ground in shade now here at UTAS Stadium. AFL Nation, of course, Miles Fitzner and the 249-time goal kicker Josh Jenkins with you. 6 behinds for the Bulldogs in the second quarter. We saw Hawthorn register 4 goals in the second quarter. 6-5-41 currently. They lead the Bulldogs 2-12-24. Just to touch on the two teams, I know they're missing a lot of players. We spoke pre-show with Cam Luke about the Bulldogs missing Jack McRae. I mean, Bailey Smith, of course, we've seen with the knee, and Bailey Dale missing from the side. But Hawthorn's injury list is astonishing. Blank did the ACL because they had the intra-club carnage there. Will Day's got the foot fracture. Denver Granger Barras toe. Chankwath Jath hamstring. He'll be about round 4. Will McCabe's done his back. Mitchell's got the jaw, maybe round 1. Dylan Moore had glandular fever. We won't see him till round 1. Wingard Achilles, Gunston and Weddle all missing from this side.
Yeah, it's a lengthy list that provides them with plenty of upside, but it's not a list you want to have at this time of the year, because injuries are going to happen more likely during the games, let alone before the games even start. So the key will be getting them all back and making sure they stay back. So some of those injuries you can't help. ACLs just happen. Glandular fever is one you can't necessarily prepare or plan for. So hopefully, for Hawks fans' sakes, they can have a pretty healthy season, because the teams that have the healthy seasons are often the ones who are competing at the very end.
I want to ask you, Hawthorn, they finished 16th last year with 7 wins. The Bulldogs were 9th with 12 wins. Where did you have them? You've done your pre-season predictions.
I have.
Throughout the network.
Yep.
Where have you got... Hawthorn seem to be a team that could vastly improve.
Yeah, I'm not feeling good about my Hawthorn selection. I actually had them 17th. I just had real concerns about their...
North Melbourne in front of them then?
I did. I had North Melbourne 16th. The Dogs I had around 11th or 12th. I'm feeling okay about that. They should be better than Dogs. I just really feel with that top-end talent. Now, a lot of Dogs fans will say, and people who watch the Dogs closer than I, will say that their bottom end is not strong, but I think when you're so strong at the top end like Carlton are, you should be better. So they've got all Australian calibre players all over the field, the Dogs. So I had the Dogs 11th or 12th. I'm just not sure what's going on. It's a fascinating year for Luke Beveridge. And I had the Hawks in 17th, but I might need to swap them with Fremantle, because I called them last night and they were less than impressive.
So the Bulldogs, realistically, they've lost Josh Bruce, Mitch Hannon was probably just. Jordan Sweet's probably the other one they've lost with the trade to Port Adelaide. Hayden Crozier was in and out of the side. They bring in Bramble with the SSP from Hawthorn. Nick Caulfield's a good get from St Kilda. And, of course, James Harms, which is a bit of a utility role, as well as Riley Sanders. Do you think that just having another year with the English, Lobb, Jamara Ugle-Hagan, Norton, that they're a very tall side, that another year of that under their belt might actually get to see how that setup works and who plays? We've got Sam Darcy there to remember too. Where does he fit in? They're a very, very tall side.
They are. James O'Donnell and others have drafted Croft, so they've got tools all over the place. So there's no doubt they'd be keen to try and work out how they all fit. I think it's an interesting season as well for Rory Lobb. Does he fit into the squad? Does he fit into the 22, 23? Is he the backup ruck? Or I know Darcy has trained as a ruckman pretty much all of the off-season, so it's going to be a fascinating season for the Dogs. We know they moved everyone on except for the senior coach, and if things don't work for them, then there won't be many others to move that aren't named Luke Beveridge. So big year for the Dogs ahead.
Very quickly, off the text, Jack Ginnivan reminds me of a young Dermy, takes no prisoners. I don't mind that. Mark chimed in, Miles and Josh. Mark from Sydney, thanks for the great commentary. Being a Swans fan, I'm curious to see what you guys think about the Swans winning the premiership, and do you think we'll ever see Taggart doing commentary in an AFL game? Well, there'd be no to the second one, but can they win the flag, JJ, quickly?
They can win the flag. They've just got to stop getting injuries to key players. Adams went down again last night as well. AFL Nation for McDonald's and Emmett Crispy at Macca's, and that was the Choices Flooring halftime floor show. Thanks to Choices Flooring. Discover your style with Carpets by Design sale on. The Choices Flooring sale is on now. Second half action live from UTAS Stadium. Miles Fitzner and Josh Jenkins back on the other side of this.
You're listening to the 2024 AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation.
Right now at Macca's, go large or medium or small. This month, get any soft drink, any size for just $1. Value means more at Macca's.
Available at participating restaurants. Excludes McDelivery. Excludes frozen soft drinks.
Whether you're a busy household looking for family-friendly options or love the feel and comfort of luxurious natural wool, or maybe it's a healthy choice asthma-friendly carpet, then Choices Flooring has the range, colours, textures and savings you've been looking for during our Carpet by Design sale event. Go online at choicesflooring.com.au and discover the carpet solution that's just right for you. With savings across the range, now is the time to visit your nearest Choices Flooring showroom.
Tyre Power's Big Easter sale gives you the power to save on a huge range of Toyo tyres. Hop in and get the power of a sweet deal on Toyo tyres for your car or SUV. Buy 3 and get 1 free. That's buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo tyres right now at Tyre Power. Get the power to have a safe Easter on the road with Tyre Power's Big Easter sale. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local independent owner.
Is drinking costing you more than money? Alcoholics Anonymous provides a free and anonymous recovery service to anyone who wants to call it quits. Join millions of other alcoholics worldwide and take your first brave steps towards a new beginning. There are thousands of AA meetings happening every week across Australia. If you'd like to find your closest meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous or have any questions regarding this tried and tested treatment for alcoholism, call 1300 AA. That's 1300 22 22 22 or visit aa.org.au.
Hello, it's Albert Sanusa from State Transport. 1 pallet from Melbourne to Cairns or a full semi-load from Eastern Creek to Brisbane. We have the solutions for you. With our expansion into New South Wales and soon to be Queensland, State Transport's service offerings continue to grow. Our fleet of over 250 vehicles can help anytime, day or night. Call us on 134 888.
State Transport, our people are your solution.
Hungry? Want to try something different? Then head to Lenny's Fine Food, an authentic New York-style deli in downtown North Caulfield. Try a bagel with smoked salmon, schnitzel, brisket, or one of their schmears. There's Lenny's famous chicken soup and 40 other homemade soups and meals ready to go 7 days a week. So, for a taste of New York City without the airfare, visit Finey and the team at Lenny's Fine Food, 636 Inkerman Road, North Caulfield.
New Hilux stock has arrived and is available now at Kilmore Toyota, located not far north of Melbourne. Get in before the holidays and view the new demonstrator vehicles on display. With great savings to be had with their used vehicle clearance sale on now to make room for 2024 stock. Take the drive north to Kilmore Toyota and experience the way they sell cars differently. To view stock listings, visit kilmoretoyota.com.au, LMCT 808. Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
Whether you're a busy household looking for family-friendly options or love the feel and comfort of luxurious natural wool, or maybe it's a healthy choice asthma-friendly carpet, then Choices Flooring has the range, colours, textures and savings you've been looking for during our Carpet by Design sale event. Go online at choicesflooring.com.au and discover the carpet solution that's just right for you. With savings across the range, now is the time to visit your nearest Choices Flooring showroom.
Right now at Macca's, go large or medium or small. This month, get any soft drink, any size for just $1. Value means more at Macca's.
Available at participating restaurants. Excludes McDelivery. Excludes frozen soft drinks.
You're listening to the 2024 AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation.
Welcome back to AFL Nation for McDonald's and in McCrispy at Macca's. Miles Fitzner, Josh Jenkins with you as the ball is bounced up and heads down in towards the Hawthorn forward line and should go over the boundary line and will have a boundary throw in. Miles Fitzner, Josh Jenkins, 0433 98 11 16 for AFL Nation for Macca's. The new McCrispy. Try it today at Macca's and Hawthorn. 6-5-41 lead the Bulldogs 2-12-24 on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard.
Nick Watson's thrown the long sleever on. It's worked for Jack Ginnivan, so he thinks I'm going to do it too. And he gets the footy here, kicks it through between and around Lewis and Jones, who are in the goal square. It was a decent attempt, but just to the wrong side of the goal post. He looks dangerous around stoppage, but a minor. 6-5 plays 2-12. Richards brings the ball back in to play. Cut off by Impey. He handballs wider to Frost. He handballs on the right hand in front of McKenzie, who's happy to see it go over the boundary line and out of bounds. Just a little beyond the half-forward flank for the Hawks, who have started this third term nicely. Got the first clearance of the quarter, I should say. Reeves playing in front, gets the hit out. Libbo the clearance, gives it to Bontempelli. He takes one, now two bounces, now three bounces. Kicks it long inside forward 50. Jamara and Norton are both there. Look like Norton might be getting a free kick. Or is it going the other way? It is. It's going to Ethan Phillips, who's got the head bandaged up. And he looked like he was out of position there, Phillips, but just kept his eyes on the footy and was able to win himself a free kick. Opposed to Jamara, Ugle-Hagan didn't look like much in it, but he doesn't care. He gives it to Frost, who kicks it sideways to Scrimshaw. He does look a lot like Grant Birchall in plays. He kicks it to the former Don, D'Ambrosio, and he'll look to clear from defence.
It's a chilly, feels like 14 degrees here in Launceston. Up the line towards the interchange, the kick went. Liberatore didn't get a clear disposal away. He was wrapped up there by McGuinness. Free kick holding the footy to McGuinness as runners around him. Goes square inboard towards centre half back. Finds Impey. Another lateral switches on. Back and find Phillips. The transition. Now to Frost. Right half back for Hawthorn. Non-commentary this side. If you just joined us, Hawthorn kicking to the left of your radio dial. The Western Bulldogs to the right. The kick up to the right of the corridor to find Newcomb, who is just racking them up. one of the gun recruits for Hawthorn. Kick just missed the target, just a fraction. Gallagher came in, did well. Handball onto Bontempelli. The Bulldogs poised to strike into danger territory. Ugle-Hagan in a one-on-one with Phillips. He did well, Phillips, to Scrimshaw. Now the short kick pulled inside, and that was also cut off and spoiled. West wheels around on his left boot. Had an option in Norton in a 2-on-1. Impey did well, but gave the free kick away. Advantage play on. Ugle-Hagan runs into an open goal square. He kicks his second, and the Bulldogs finally get their third goal 3.5 minutes into the third quarter after kicking their first two. They haven't kicked one since about the 13-minute mark of the first quarter. Hawthorn 6-6-42 lead the Bulldogs 3-12-30 on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard. JJ?
Yeah, hard to miss those. Ugle-Hagan just shows his versatility and athleticism. A nice crumb. Picked it up and waltzed in to the goal line. Impossible to miss that. So
it was a poor free kick, really. They had the 2-on-1 against Norton.
Yeah, they did, but Norton's a big body and...
Oh, Phillips just put the hand clean over the throat.
He did. The young man's held up pretty well, though, in most contests. So Jamara, Ugle-Hagan's got 2 of the Dogs' 3. Norton has the other. 6-6-42 plays 3-12-30. The bounce is shocking. English hits it down to Liberatore, who bangs it inside forward 50. Frost is first onto the loose ball. He evades Ugle-Hagan, handballs it to a teammate. The ball's intercepted, though. Ends up with Waitman. He flicks it back. The ball's smothered. Handball from McNeil to Jamara again. He kicks it right across the face. And it goes out of bounds. I think it went on the full.
Yeah, I think it did.
It did, so the Hawks will rebound.
One off the text for you. One more game or one more goal would have rounded off your CV nicely.
One more game, definitely. I needed a few more goals, I think.
Were you 249 or 47?
296, I think.
296.
You've robbed me of 50, but that's all right.
Did I?
296, I think.
Oh, you only need 4 more. That's only one game for you. You were a noted bag kicker.
Yeah. Ifs, buts and maybes.
We're at half-back for Hawthorn. Left half-back, that is. Newcomb. Through Ward. They go up through centre wing. Target was Ginnivan. Richards hot on his tail. Karmas. He might have been done holding the footy. Certainly was. Play on. Chol. He looked to square the ball up. It's a great kick. Superb kick. And finds Connor McDonald directly in front. Almost 40 metres out. He could have blazed away there, Marby or Chol, but he pulled the kick, hooked it back inside. And I'm not going to say that he should be kicking this, Josh Jenkins, but he should.
But he should be.
But he should.
That's why if Chol can bring a level of competition in the ruck, and when he's playing as a big, tall forward, that was an unbelievable kick. Not a lot of guys can make that kick.
And McDonald, in he comes from 45. Umpire didn't move an inch. Superb, set up by Chol. Ginnivan, a good contest. And Hawthorn get the quick reply. They get their 7th. So they go to 7-6-48. They lead the Bulldogs 3-12-30. You are hearing that correct. On the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard. Tyre Power, your trusted Aussie-owned tyre experts. And you're listening to AFL Nation for Macca's, the new McCrispy at Macca's.
Just getting another look at this kick from Chol. It's a beautiful kick. It travels through the air. A little bit of Charlie Curnow, a little bit of Tex Walker about that. A little bit of Buddy Franklin, to be honest, on the left foot. And that's why he's probably been a source of frustration for some of his coaches, because that's something a big 6'6" backup ruckman key forward shouldn't be able to do, but he can. So if he can bring the other aspects of his game, he'll be fine. Warple is first onto the clearance. Libba worries him out of it, kicks it wide to the wing. The foot race is on. Sanders is there. Ball's overrun by Gallagher, so Impey gets it. He's had the ball 19 times. Brewster's been busy. There's that sidestep. There's another one. Gives it back to Impey. Impey handballs it further back to Amon. Kicks it to Big Reevesy, who wisely handballs it to Amon running past. Beautiful kick to Ginnivan. They are a good kicking team, the Hawks. They move the ball nicely. And they give Ginnivan an opportunity, but this will be a very tough kick. The Breeze will blow this ball away from the face of goal. Ginnivan knows that. He grubbers one. Ends up with Warple. He kicks an underground ball that's cut off by Waitman. He gives it to Libba, who gives it to Bont. Finds Johannesson, and he kicks an outlet ball, and the Dogs should be able to exit.
So Bramble hit the 45 to Bontempelli. 45 now into the corridor at centre half back for the Doggies. So McNeil, who's come up the ground inside the centre square. Costly there with the Hawks with a good opportunity at goal. Daniel, been quiet enough. Normally an elite
Hardly
user.
seen him.
Yeah,
He hasn't just come on the ground, has he?
He
I don't think I've seen him.
May have missed it. I'll check my binoculars.
He's small.
So Daniel to Richards. Another 45. This is what they do, the Bulldogs. A little chip and go. And then long down deep to the tall timber. And Aaron Norton on cue will go back and line up for his second. It's the zigzag with the 15, 20 metre kicks working through the corridor. And Norton, snap territory for him, 25 out, maybe 30, tight angle, but the right side for the right footer. Steals around, 1-2, bellies it. That's a stinker. Across the face, will get rushed through for a minor score. And if you're a power forward, you sign an 8-year extension, you just want to walk around and make short work of them, JJ.
Yeah, you do. Perhaps he should have gone with the banana or the check side in your part of the world.
Yeah, we call them check sides.
Do you?
South Australia, we have 7-6-48. The Hawks, they lead the Bulldogs 3-13. Yes, 13-31 on the Tyre Power, your trusted Aussie-owned tyre expert scoreboard.
13's been an important number at this ground, as Lance Buddy Franklin once banged through 13 against the Kangas. Shout out to Nathan Grimer, good fella. It was on the end of about 11 of them.
The stories about him true, about when he was coaching?
Probably.
Yeah.
He's a funny man. Newcomb kicks it long down the line and finds Lewis, who meets the ball nicely. He runs inward and bangs it inside 50. It's ill-directed. English should have marked, didn't. Watson played for the free kick, wasn't there. Ginnivan lays the tackle, but Richards is able to clear it. And Newcomb is seriously everywhere. He's had 20 disposals. This will be number 21. Half a dozen marks. This is beyond him. He knows it, so he tries to set it up for Big Reeves. Can't mark. Sanders comes through and crumbs it for the Dogs. Gets it wider to Norton, who's helping out in defence. He kicks it sideways about 6 metres to Daniel. He tries to sizzle one back inside. It's a lovely kick to Libba. Gives it to Norton, who's run on. Handballs it to Bontempelli, just cruising past. Bangs it inside forward 50. Ugelhagen comes up to meet the footy, gets a free kick. The young man, Phillips, is not happy. But by the letter of the law, when we get a look at this replay, there will be a fist across the arm of Ugelhagen. The angle was just all wrong for Phillips.
Fast entry like that, you always got the defender caught out.
Defenders from the 80s and 90s would be absolutely irate with the decision, but the way the rules are written now, any spoiling contact to the arms results in a free kick. So Ugelhagen, been an interesting game from him, but he lines up for number 3 here, and he nurses it home. He just sneaks it inside the goalpost. Not convincing, but successful. So Jamara's got 3. He should have 5, maybe 6. But the Dogs have kicked a couple. Both have been his. Almost halfway through the third term. The Hawks 7-6-48. The Dogs close the gap. 4 goals, 13-37. I'm just looking at that replay. He won't like it, the young man, Phillips, but it's definitely a free kick in modern footy. The left arm over the shoulder, and the right arm just makes a little bit of contact with the arms. There's not a lot in it, but it's a free kick. And the margin is 11 points for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts.
Miles Fitzner, Josh Jenkins doing a magnificent job for AFL Nation for McDonald's. Ball back in the centre of the ground. Liberatore tucked it under his arm. Back inside 50 they go again. Frost just got rid of Ugelhagen like he was nothing and took the intercept mark. He took to that with a pitching wedge, the return. Big fly from Joel over the top. Ended up spoiling a teammate. Nash, he runs in to pick the ball up, wrapped up by Rory Lobb. We'll have a ball up just inside the centre square, 70 from home for the Bulldogs. They are kicking to the right of your radio dial. So Newcomb Handball back out of the stoppage to Hustwaite on his left boot, up to left half forward. Jones had to sit and read it nicely. And a ball touch, paid on. So not paid, it was play on called.
Unlucky.
A few people texting in about the tips that are winning there at Ascot. Thank you very much. Thanks for letting me know. 0433 98 11 16. All right, Lob tried to tap it out. Liberatore, Newcomb, he got wrapped up. Big tackle by Bontempelli. No attempt to get rid of it, but no prior. Umpire said,
he's beating.
Oh,
jeez.
He's wow. Well, might be a sign of things to come.
The warm whistle.
So Marcus Bontempelli, sort of right half back for the Dogs.
Wheels onto that familiar left foot, bangs it to half forward. The ball goes out the back. Players are looking to run onto the footy, but it's McGuinness who's first back. Gives it to Amon, who kicks it back inside, but it might be a downfield. In fact, it's a free kick to the Dogs. Way back in front of goal and a 50-metre penalty. So we'll need to see what happened on replay, but instead of the Hawks clearing the footy from half back, Bailey Williams walks to the goal square and kicks it over Sam Frost's head.
Yeah, and he might have kicked it into the Derwent.
Absolutely no idea what's happened. But what I do know is the Hawks 7-6-48. The Dogs close the gap again, 5-13-43. Now, we're seeing a replay on the big screen. So it might have been Norton getting a free kick for a push.
Oh, gee, that's stiff.
He copped one on the mush.
But he took his eyes off the ball first, did Norton?
Well, I don't understand why that's a...
I'm not sure here.
50-metre penalty either.
Staggering.
We might have to just press on without having any idea in the world what happened just then.
Yeah, it's a strange sequence of events. Couldn't pick it up on the car sales. Everything you ought to know replay. So we're back in the centre of the ground. 15 minutes gone here in the third term. Bounce went up. It favoured Lob. Is the umpire going to call this back, or has he paid a free kick? No, free kick for Treloar for the hold by Warple. Hands it off. Goes to... I think that was Bramble. Goes back up inside 50. The Dogs, away they go through Riley West. And another goal. Back to back. It was Bramble deep inside 50. I saw a few players looking at each other over the back of the pack. And Riley West runs into an open goal. And they're fourth for the term, the Bulldogs. And they hit the front. 7-6-48 Hawthorn. To the Bulldogs, 6-13-49. 1 point the margin on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard. Riley West, it's a Crummers goal if you ever see him.
It is. The ball got over the back, which is what defenders are told not to allow. Riley West was first onto it. Still building a career for himself. Riley West played the 37 games. He's listed at 6 foot. He's got no chance of being 6 foot.
No way.
None. Ball's bounced. English is up. Reeves just a little too big for him. Reaches over the top and knocks it down. Libbers after it, as we know he always is, a great first possession player. English ends up getting it out to Treloar. He handballs it to Johannesson running past. Kicks it inside forward 50. Waitman goes up over the top. Can't mark. Players are happy to see it run out of bounds. Waitman decided he was the power forward there. Tried to take the big hanger. Saw him paint a very nice painting on the back of a skateboard. Took it to Tom Brady and got that signed. That was pretty cool. I hope I don't see it on eBay. Cody. Ball's thrown back in. English gets himself to the front spot. Nash kicks it high and long along the boundary. No one really wants it. Lewis goes up one-handed. Hardwick kicks it along the ground, and he might... No, he won't. I was going to say... He might get pinched for that. I'm hopeful he didn't, and he wasn't, but we'll have a ball in directly, smack bang. You couldn't be on centre wing anymore if you tried.
Non-commentary, of course, JJ. 6-13-49. The Bulldogs lead the Hawks 7-6-48. We've gone 17 and a half here at UTAS Stadium. Liberatore with the clearance up inside 50 towards the junction. It'll drift with the wind, go out of bounds on the full. And, of course, AFL Nation for McDonald's, the new McCrispy at Macca's. Try it today at Macca's. Miles Fitzner and the 149 gamer Josh Jenkins with you. You can text any time 0433 98 11 16. Some really good chat in there, from all things horses to asking who we are. We love it. So Bramble with the 1-2. Left half back for the Dogs. Up towards centre half forward. Target was Waitman. Punch came across from McGuinness. Scrimshaw did well, only went as far as Treloar, wheeled into 54, hit it well, umpired in it, moved, bang! And it's probably the best sequence of the day from the Bulldogs, but Adam Treloar running through the paint of 50 directly in front. You don't see him miss too often, and the Bulldogs kick the fifth of the quarter, 7-13-55. They lead Hawthorn 7-6-48 on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard.
Well, this is certainly the scoring end. Midway through the third quarter, we've seen most of the action down to the right of our radio dial, and that was a fine finish from Treloar. He's always been a player who likes to run and carry. Can occasionally get criticised for overusing the footy, as a lot of the Dogs can, but he's a player who's always been willing to run and carry and bounce the footy, and that was a fine finish from the former Giant and the former Pie. Ball's back in the middle. Rucks go at it. English reaches over the top. A fine hit to Bontempelli, who sharks it, kicks it back to Empey, who goes back with courage. Sanders picks it up, gives it to Norton. He's got a little bit of space, runs himself into trouble, gives it back to Sanders, says, you deal with it, young man. He gives it back to Bont. He'll work out what to do with it. He kicks it inside forward 50. Only one Hawk goes up, can't mark. Frost is there to save the day. Amon ends up with it, and that's a crude tackle from, might have been West, who is nowhere near 6 foot. They are absolutely having a lend of us, listing him at 183.
Well, if he's 6 foot, I'm 6'1".
He's about 173. But what matters is Carl Amon will clear the footy for the Hawks.
So Amon from the right back pocket. Contested mark taken by Richards. Wheels around on his left, just pulls the kick inside 50 to English, and that's a set play. Ruckman drops back in the hole, and the attention turns to Ugelhagen and Norton. English drop back in the hole. The kick got pulled by Richards. You could see that coming a mile away, and Tim English will go back and shoot for Western Bulldogs' 8th and the 6th of the quarter. Had a gap. They didn't kick a goal from about the 11-minute mark of the first quarter until the start of the third. So the 9 disposals, 16 hit-outs for Tim English. Bit better than a 45. 30-odd out. Still shoulders and hit it pretty nicely. May have just pushed it to the right-hand side of the post. That is through for a minor score. Another one. And an inaccurate Western Bulldogs outfit. Really letting Hawthorn off the hook. 7-14-56. They lead Hawthorn 7-6-48. And the margin is 8 points. The ball comes back in. Kukamas can't gather. Goes over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in close enough to the commentary position. And the interchange gate, as we see Reeves down and to be in a little bit of pain. Quite a bit of pain, actually. Winded.
Knee in the ribs or something in that contest. He's
trying to suck them in.
Yeah, he's emptied out.
And
hopefully not.
You would be able to tell us how much that hurts.
Yes. Yeah.
Very uncomfortable. Here we are on the replay.
The old rib.
Oh, yeah, he's sort of got the shoulder in the breadbasket.
Yeah.
Right in the sweet spot from...
Could be a...
even a rib, maybe.
Yeah, or even worse, a rib cartilage. Tore off a little bit of rib cartilage in a game way back when, and felt very similar to this. You thought, okay, I'm okay, and you come up and you've got to go back down on your haunches again. So just a little bit of the cartilage gets torn off the end of the rib, and it's far worse than a broken rib in my humble. Hopefully, of course, we're surmising, but hopefully it is just a knock for the big fella. He's been okay tonight.
Well, text came in. Did I just hear a reference to Riley West being 183? Is that a typo or a PI55 take? We agree.
One or the other.
Bernard. So The boundary throw-in, 70 around from home, and it'll be English v Chol.
English wins it in front. Amon's first to it. Newcomb gives it back to Amon. Those two are waxing. Amon, beautiful sidestep and bounce at the same time. Kicks it long down the line, but unable to find a teammate. It's a nice intercept from Caulfield, who's almost played himself into calculations for round one. He goes back down the line. Not much there. Lob goes up with the left hand, but his right arm was over the shoulder of Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw will take the free kick. We're not saying he looks like Birchall because he wears 14. Go and watch him. He looks like Birchall. The way he plays the game.
Hunched over too. Yep. There's sort of the hunched running.
Everything. Kicks it beautifully to Chol, who's in the ruck at the moment. Tim English probably not aware, with Reeves having gone off the ground. Chol finds a teammate in McDonald. McDonald's just happy to go slow and deliberate kick to Lewis. Kicks it a bit further than Lewis. Bruce, as always, in the right spot at the right time, looking for a teammate. Ball goes around the corner from McKenzie to the line. Just misses, and in fact, it takes a SK Warren spin. In fact, that was probably an off spinner, and hits the behind post. It was very close to going through for a goal. Ends up hitting the behind post, which sounds hard to believe, but just trust me on it. And we get a throw-in.
Genuine off-break. So the throw-in from the post. Watson was dumped by Liberatore. Richards there. Handballs to Bramble. They love running it out of defence, do the Dogs. Daniel tried to get a handball on a Treloar. Cut off by Amon. Kick now. Back inboard to Ginnivan. And when he's within range, he'll look inboard. I think he'll be going back having a shot at this. He'd be about 8 or 9 metres in from the boundary in the right-hand pocket. The breeze going left to right from him. It's about 40 metres out. So drop punt territory. Ball has to start at the left post here. We'll see if Ginnivan can go back and kick his third. Kick 2 early in the second quarter. Kick this from 45. Hits it, aimed at the left post, but sort of hooked the ball across the face, and English stood up, ended up not even making the journey to the right behind post. The Dogs will look to transition out of defence through right half back.
Williams gets it from English, who's a fine kick for a big man. Williams bangs it to the wing. Lobb's got his name written all over this. Can't mark, should have. Sanders at ground level. He's taken by a couple of Hawks. We'll have a ball up. Scrimshaw among the tacklers. Ward was the other one. The ruckmen arrive at the contest. The umpire waits for them. English wins it. Newcomb ends up with the first possession. Doesn't go far. Bontempelli, an underground handball to Treloar. He handballs backward. Williams handballs it to Sanders. That's a nice little fake. But a good smother, equally good smother from Ginnivan. Chol's over it. Libber's over him. Gets it back to Sanders. He bangs it haphazardly forward. Norton's in the area. Couple of Dogs, couple of Hawks. Norton ends up with the foot. He bangs it high. This will be a genuine one-on-one. Although Sicily's getting back. Double fister. Tough to mark. Bontempelli over it. Treloar's worked his way down. He handballs it back to Bont. Bont snaps it on the right foot. Back in the area of Aaron Norton. And the astronaut, he's taken bigger marks than that. But that was a strong chest mark. And he should be able to go back from directly in front and kick his second goal. Coming up for disposal number 10. He's kicked 1 goal, 2. He's been a factor, but he hasn't been dominant. And this aspect of his game needs work. But that one is gun barrel straight. So Norton's got a couple. And the Dogs are playing some very, very fine footy in this quarter. They've kicked 6 goals, 2 in the quarter. We've still got 3 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. And Bontempelli, Treloar, the usual suspects involved. Bontempelli just banged it on the right foot. Norton playing in front. Big body, strong body. Hardwick, who was back there, couldn't do anything about it. And Aaron Norton went back and kicked truly, and that's the key part for him. So the Dogs 8-14-62 lead the Hawks 7-6-48. As I mentioned, a tick over 3 minutes remaining here in the third term for Tyre Power, your trusted Aussie-owned tyre experts.
His original inside 50 entry wasn't that great. He sort of blazed away and put Gallagher under serious pressure. But he redeemed himself quite well. English back in with Reeves, seems to have recovered. He roved his own tap, but the handball only went as far as Treloar. 1, 2, 3 bounces running out through centre wing. 4 bounces on his left, up towards the left pocket. Norton, it might have been a push, and it is against Sicily or Frost. No, it's against Frost. So Frost with the free kick. Little chip. Tries to find Impey's. Not really well executed. McNeil did well. Went back to West. Feigned one way or the other on his right boot. Set up the Sanders on the hot spot. But Nash, with the height advantage, come back and manage to intercept. Square kick to find Massimo. D'Ambrosio. Wider again. Find Phillips. Nice size, Phillips. In the book at 197. Short option to find McKenzie, who we like. Been busy today. Racked up 15 so far. Looks long down the line towards the interchange gates. Big pack of players. Newcomb at the front. English Reeves couldn't gather. At the back, Bramble against his old side. Took off. One bounce. Up towards the hot spot inside 50, getting across. Frost and Sicily spoiled each other. West from the pack, snap across the body and kicks a goal. He's second at the quarter, and the Bulldogs run away with it. 7 goals to 1 in the third quarter. 9-14, 68. They lead Hawthorn 7-6, 48. On the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts, Aussie-owned tyre experts scoreboard. And JJ, that's a crumbing goal if you ever see one.
It is fantastic aerial contest from Norton. Had no intention of marking the ball because he was out of position. 1v3, gets it to ground. Riley West, right time, right place, right time. Brilliant finish.
Goal of the day.
Brilliant finish. Yeah, indeed. And it'd have to be a contender or the leading contender for goal of the day. So the Dogs 9-14, 68 lead the Hawks by 20 points, 7-6, 48. The ball's back in the middle. English gets first hand on it. Bontempelli handballs it to Sanders. So the young and the skipper back to Bont. He handballs to Johannesson. Handballs to a stationary Libba, who's able to get a handball out. Johannesson kicks it inside forward 50. Norton's quick onto it, and Norton's super quick, and the astronaut, no need to be skyward here, picks the footy up. Too fast and too powerful for Phillips. He may have given the too small sign as well. I need to check on that, but he's got 3. The Dogs have got 10, and all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, we've got a 26-point lead.
Well, it was game high at 20. It's definitely game high now at 26.
Yep.
They have blown them out of the water in the last 15 minutes, and it's link-up handballs like that. Johannesson gets the 1-2, the quick kick forward, the fast inside 50 entries, and Sicily and Frost. I mean, Norton, he just burnt off
Give
Phillips.
me a look at this. I reckon he's given the too small. We didn't quite see it.
What's
but the NBA
one?
players like to, when you score on someone who's too little, I reckon he gave the too small there.
7 in a row for the Dogs. They've kicked 8 of the last 10. Ball back in the centre of the ground. Reeves tapped out to space in front of Newcomb. Managed to gather well. Leading handball to Impey, but Norton was close on his hammer. Impey managed to gather the spill. Fend off. Back now to find, I think it was McDonald. Free kick going to be paid to
Look
him.
at Norton.
Yeah, he's charging.
Yeah, he is.
And McDonald, 70 from home on the edge of the square. Ignored the runner in Scrimshaw. Short option now to Newcomb. Centre half forward. Still inside the centre square. Last roll of the dice for them. 55 seconds remaining. Up inboard. Big fly from English. Down to Bruce Crum. And that's what he has done his entire 281 game career. Front centre goal. Luke Bruce gets a reply for Hawthorn. And they move to 54, 8-6, 54. They trail the Bulldogs 10-14, 74 on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard. The margin back to 20 points.
Well, if Luke Bruce gets to 300, he'll also get to 550 goals. So a couple of big milestones on the horizon for him. He's at 281 games, so he'll have to play most of the season, but he's been a durable character. He's looked very good tonight. 47 goals last year, if you don't mind.
In 47 last year in your what season would that be? That'd be season 14, 13?
Oh, at least, more.
Yeah, 15.
Well, he played in the 2012 loss and then the 13, 14, 15, so that's quite some time ago. Now, the ball's back into play. Liberatore from the bounce. Gets the clearance, goes back to Richards, who's charging off half-back, kicks it forward. Looking for West, the 6-footer, can't mark. Hardwick gets it. Hardwick's been moved back, which is interesting. That ball stayed in. Watson said, thank you very much. He takes off. He has 2 bounces in the long sleeve. He likes the look of the goals, but he misses. Near side. He looks like a man who loves to see a sausage roll next to his name. The Dogs bring the ball back in to play, and they'll look to clear through Caleb Daniel.
Debuted in 2009, so 15th season. As we hit three-quarter time here at UTAS Stadium, the Western Bulldogs 10-14-74. They lead the Hawthorn Football Club 8-7-55 in the 2024 AAMI Community Series. Miles Fitzner, Josh Jenkins, 149 gamer with you for AFL Nation for McDonald's, and Ian McCrispy at Macca's. We'll head to a word from our partners, and we'll be back with the last quarter live from UTAS on the other side of this.
You're listening to the 2024 AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation.
Right now at Macca's, go large or medium or small. This month, get any soft drink, any size for just $1. Value means more at Macca's.
Available at participating restaurants. Excludes McDelivery. Excludes frozen soft drinks.
Whether you're a busy household looking for family-friendly options or love the feel and comfort of luxurious natural wool, or maybe it's a healthy choice asthma-friendly carpet, then Choices Flooring has the range, colours, textures and savings you've been looking for during our Carpet by Design sale event. Go online at choicesflooring.com.au and discover the carpet solution that's just right for you. With savings across the range, now is the time to visit your nearest Choices Flooring showroom.
Tyre Power's Big Easter sale gives you the power to save on a huge range of Toyo tyres. Hop in and get the power of a sweet deal on Toyo tyres for your car or SUV. Buy 3 and get 1 free. That's buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo tyres right now at Tyre Power. Get the power to have a safe Easter on the road with Tyre Power's Big Easter sale. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 132191 for your local independent owner.
Werribee Kia's biggest EV sale ever is on now. So I'm broadcasting Dwayne's World live from Werribee Kia this Friday from noon till 3. There's great drive-away prices, fantastic finance offers and trade-in deals available. Plus, purchase any brand new electric vehicle on Friday and Werribee Kia will handball you $4,000 towards installing solar panels at home. Don't miss Dwayne's World live from Werribee Kia's biggest EV sale ever. This Friday on Old Geelong Road, Hoppers Crossing. T's and C's apply. LMCT 114.
Footy is back, and for the 2024 season, it's bigger and better than ever. Whether it's NAB AFL Auskick, NAB AFL Superkick, or Junior Footy, there are so many ways you can play. Australian rules football is the game for everyone, and the stage is set. It's time to kick into the footy season. Find your way to play today at play.afl.
Hi, I'm Patrick Dangerfield. How good is getting out on the water? But what if something happens to your boat or jet ski? You want to know that you can count on your insurance. That's why I choose Club Marine. Boat insurance by people who know boats. Club Marine is Australia's largest provider of boat insurance with more than 50 years experience. So if you're looking for flexible cover options, exclusive member benefits and fantastic claim service, look no further. Get a quote at clubmarine.com.au and discover why boating's just better with Club Marine.
TFD available at clubmarine.com.au. Read the PDS to see if this insurance
choice is right for you.
The AFL Record Pre-Season Edition is out now. It's your definitive guide to the season and a must-have for AFL fantasy. Every player is profiled with their 2024 fantasy price. Plus, we analyse the 2024 NAB AFL Draft and the annual AFL Power List. The Movers and Shapers is back for another year. Brought to you by Signet. The AFL Record Pre-Season Edition out now. Order online via aflrecord.com.au. Available at all good news agents as well as selected Coles, Coles Express and Woolworths stores.
Whether you're a busy household looking for family-friendly options or love the feel and comfort of luxurious natural wool, or maybe it's a healthy choice asthma-friendly carpet, then Choices Flooring has the range, colours, textures and savings you've been looking for during our Carpet by Design sale event. Go online at choicesflooring.com.au and discover the carpet solution that's just right for you. With savings across the range, now is the time to visit your nearest Choices Flooring showroom.
Right now at Macca's, go large or medium or small. This month, get any soft drink, any size for just $1. Value means more at Macca's.
Available at participating restaurants. Excludes McDelivery. Excludes frozen soft drinks.
You're listening to the 2024 AAMI Community Series on AFL Nation.
That was also cut off and spoiled. West wheels around on his left boot. Had an option in Norton in a 2-on-1. It beat him well, but gave the free kick away. Advantage play on. Ugle-Hagan runs into an open goal square. He kicks his second, and the Bulldogs finally get their third goal. But back up inside 50. The Dogs, away they go through Riley West. And another goal. Back to back. It was Bramble deep inside 50. I saw a few players looking at each other over the back of the pack. Riley West runs into an open goal, and they're fought for the turn, the Bulldogs, and they hit the front up towards the hot spot inside 50, getting across. Frost and Sicily spoiled each other. West from the pack, snap across the body and kicks a goal. He's second in a quarter, and the Bulldogs run away with it. 7 goals to 1 in the third quarter. Oh, welcome back. Well done to you, DMG. Well put together, AFL Nation. For McDonald's and New McCrispy at Macca's. Miles Fitzner, Josh Jenkins with you. And the Bulldogs, 10-14-74 lead Hawthorn, 8-7-55 on the Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert scoreboard. And, well, the Bulldogs piled them on that quarter. 8 goals to 2. And we go back in the centre of the ground here at UTAS Stadium. So, lob, tap down. Newcombe, though, managed to crumb. Hawthorn to the right of your radio dial if you've just joined us. Free kick paid. Umpire off the ball, and the free kick going to Buku Karmas. Karmas short, finds Treloar, right half back. Perfect conditions for football now here in the evening in Tasmania. Kick up the line and cut off nicely by Max Ramsden. We see him for the first time tonight in the ruck, maybe giving Reeves a spell after that slight knock. Transition play to Huswaite. He goes back now to the centre wing far side, left half back for Hawthorn. They managed to chip around and find James Sicily just inside the corridor in the centre square.
Sicily, a little loft wedge to Ginnivan. Bontempelli cuts it off. So the Bulldogs get the turnover. He kicks wide to the near side. Commissary side of the ground finds Norton. He kicks a worm burner to Waitman, who takes it on the second grab. He's about 80 metres from goal. Kicks it skinny to the pocket where English is waiting. Gets one hand up. Sicily over the top. McNeil's involved as well, but he's taken the ground. Huswaite with the tackle.
If you're just joining us, a small margin in favour of the Bulldogs at quarter time. 17 points in favour of the Hawthorn at half time, and then 19 points in favour of the Bulldogs at three-quarter time.
Warple gets a clearing kick. Jones attacks it, can't mark. Treloar gets the loose ball, handballs it back to Duray. He kicks a deliberate ball to English, but a teammate gets in his way. But there's a free kick again, another soft one against Phillips for an arm chop. That one looked even softer than the previous we saw in the third term. English kicks it somewhat strangely into the pocket to Harvey Gallagher, maybe keen to get the young man involved, but he's 46 metres from goal. He'll kick from 50. Hard up 5 metres in from the boundary. So he'll take some kicking. He doesn't get all of it. Goes across the face. A big grab from Waitman. He had the run and the jump. No body on. The Hawks defender should know enough about him. Even though he's small, even though he's only 179, he's happy to jump up and take a big grab, and he did on that occasion. He should think his way through this. Step around on the left foot, easy as you like. Cody Waitman kicks the Bulldogs 11th, and they extend their lead with the first goal of the final term. The Dogs 11-14-80, getting out to a big lead at the moment of 8-7-55, the Hawks. So a 25-point margin in favour of the Dogs. 4 minutes gone here in this final term, and that was a fine mark from Cody Waitman.
If we had Flight Centre on today, that would be it, the Flight Centre mark of the day. Waitman with a left foot snap, his first of the night. 11-14-80. They lead Hawthorn 8-7-55. We're at the 3-minute mark of the fourth quarter. AFL Nation for McDonald's. The new McCrispy at Macca's. I'll be getting one of those on the way home back to the mainland, JJ.
Yep, I love it. Love the McCrispy.
Back in the centre of the ground. Nice bounce from the umpire. Ramsden tapped down, though, only as far as Treloar. So Liberatore up through centre half forward and inside 50. Norton may have got a push. English came out, tried to flick a handball away to find Harms, and he wrapped up Sicily in a big tackle. Umpire said, I'll have it. So a little bit of niggle's gone out of the game. They were at each other early in the first half, and they put their heads down to play footy now. Tap come to the front of the pack. Snap from Treloar across the body and through for another minor. So 11-15-81. The Dogs lead the Hawks 8-7-55. The margin 26 points in favour of the Bulldogs.
The Hawks bring it back in. Phillips, who's had the head bandage for most of the evening. Handballs wide to Amon. He tries to find Lewis, but Liam Jones has done a pretty good job on Lewis. Lewis has kicked a couple, but Jones has been with him every step of the way.
Bontempelli, Treloar and Liberatore really got going. They're 25, 25 and 28 for Bontempelli. Newcomb on the 28. Impey's had 22. Amon 22. And Sanders 18, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Mackenzie 16.
He's been good. You can pick him round one. Libba gets the clearing kick. Newcomb goes back as only he knows how to do. Ball was touched, though, so the mark's not paid. There's a few Dogs watch on. Caleb Daniel, who only entered the game in the third quarter. Waitman comes through, throws the head back looking for a free kick. Newcomb's not happy with it. And the spite that you said had gone home has come back.
Let's sink a ship at the moment.
It does set off players when they think a player or an opponent has played for a free kick and they get it. It's almost the most annoying thing. Waitman kicks it inside 50 to English. Can't mark. Harms, the former D, the new Dog, goes bang. A fine goal from the Premiership Demon. He's scooped on the loose ball and he kicked a fine goal around the corner on the right boot. 12-15-87. The lead continues to extend. 8-7-55. It's a 32-point margin. It was a fine goal from Harms. He didn't have a lot of time. He threw it on the boot, knew where the goals were. And as mentioned, it is a 32-point margin at the moment. The Hawks will just want to get this corrected because this is a chance of blowing out to 40 or 50 points. James Harms has had 13 disposals and kicked that goal, so he's starting to build himself a nice evening.
AFL Nation for Macca's. Miles Fitzner, Josh Jenkins with you. Ball back in the centre of the ground. Ramsden only got as far as a couple of Bulldogs players. Umpire, nice and quick, throws it up. Ramsden did well again. Tap down to Huswaite. He was taken high, though, by English. And I really like the look of Huswaite. We're talking in the building during the week. And he looks a player in his second year, but yet to debut. So, sorry, played the 2 games as Huswaite, the end of last year. Kick inside 50 once more. It's going to bounce and go through for a minor score. So a minor there to the Hawthorn Footy Club. They move to 8-8-56. They trail the Bulldogs 12-15-87. We've gone 7 minutes here in the last quarter. AFL Nation right around the country. So the Dogs look to transition through right half back.
They do. They get to centre wing, but the ball doesn't carry. Ward says, enough of that. I'll just hit it across the boundary line anyway, and we'll have a throw in. 31 points the margin. The Dogs have been powerful in this second half. They fell asleep in the second quarter, but been good since. English wins it down. Nash gets a kick on it, only as far as English. That ball's smothered. Harms, he's got his head over the footy. He almost left it behind. He's now taken in a tackle. And the umpire says, I'll have it. I'll throw it up. Ramsden and English go at it. Neither gets a clear hit out. Sanders gets first hands on the footy, but he's tackled. Huswaite ends up with it, and he's tackled.
He's a good pick, a number 6, isn't he? Yep. 18 or 19 so far, and he looks a top selection.
So the Dogs get the clearance through Harms. Had Waitman running past, didn't use him. Kicked it to Lobb, who had the size advantage big time over Scrimshaw. And he takes the mark, and he should kick truly.
207 v 194. And it looked like more than that, didn't it?
It did. Lobb's a big, big man. Just the 3 disposals tonight. Coming up for number 4. And he kicks truly. From 15 metres out on a slight angle. Makes no mistake. The peroxide hair and all. With plenty of regrowth. The former Docker, the former Giant. Took a couple of attempts to get to the Dogs, but he's there. And he just gets himself a little consolation prize. And despite the contract, despite the trade, Miles, he's going to have to play well to continue to get a game. The Dogs 13-15-93, really starting to put a margin on the Hawks. 8-8-56 here for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts.
You can join the conversation at any time. 0433 98 11 16. That's 0433 98 11 16 to have your say. Miles Fitzner, Josh Jenkins with you, all thanks to Macca's on AFL Nation, the new McCrispy at Macca's. Try it today at Macca's. Ramsden v English. Ramsden to Liberatore, now to Sanders, possession number 20. With his clearance up inside 50, Norton the target, ran under it. He's going to get a free kick for a push here too.
Don't know if it was there, but that's the call.
He certainly milked it enough. And the big headband will go back. And he'll line up for goal number 4. And from when he started the night with Ugle Hagen kicking one, and didn't see a lot of him, and then a flurry late in the third quarter, saw him kick another couple. So Norton directly in front, should make short work of it, and does. Just. He made very hard work of it in the end. So Norton kicks his 4th. The Bulldogs steaming away, 14-15-99. They lead the Hawthorn Football Club, 8-8-56 on the Tyre Power, your trusted Aussie-owned tyre expert scoreboard. And just seeing maybe the legs get a fraction weary, have rolled some changes, have Hawthorn with obviously Reeves off, who'd been rather dominant in the tap section of the ruck duel. And Luke Beveridge and a few of the Bulldogs staff might be smiling a little bit more than they were at half-time.
Indeed. Matty Egan at Geelong last year. He's the new look after Bevo man. I think it's his unofficial title.
Is that the...
he's the director of high performance for the coaches. As English goes up, taps it down only as far as Huswaite, who's been moved onto the footy. Bontempelli's over him, and we'll have another ball up. We've had a heap of repeat ball ups tonight. English moves the youngster Ramsden out of the road, but can't get a clearing kick. Newcomb gets his hands on the footy, gives it to Warple. He tries to give it back. Johannesson cuts it off, and the Dogs will go the other way. He gives it to Sanders, to Waitman, who ducked. That's the correct call. No free kick. Hardwick gives it to Amon. He kicks it just out in front of a teammate who can't pick it up, and Waitman gives it to Caulfield, and he finds the uncontested mark in the Norm Smith medalist from 2016 in Johannesson. He kicks it to Karmas, to Richards. He trips over himself. Caleb Daniels got fresh legs, kicks it round the corner to West, and he just does enough to find Harms 40 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle. This will take a nice kick from James Harms, but he certainly has been able to kick a goal over the journey. 78 of them, in fact. So he'll line up for his second goal in this final term and look to extend this lead significantly. He comes in over the 50-metre paint, leans back. The ball's going to come back a little bit, but it just kisses the inside of the left-hand goalpost. Minor score, 14-16 the Dogs. Hawthorn 88-56. This is AFL Nation for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts.
There's slight breeze that's played a factor here tonight too with the wind. It's around 23 kilometres an hour, and that's at north-northwesterly. And the chills just coming to the game too. Feels like 13, maybe dropping back down to 12 degrees. So there might be a few tired and cold players. I know a few people in the stands are starting to put the beanies on as it starts to chill off here at UTAS Stadium. So the Dogs, centre wing, far side. Warple wraps up Caulfield in the tackle. Umpire says, I'll have it. Up the ball goes. Ramsden, English. Sanders getting busy in the final term. Handballs to Waitman. Pretty sure he kicked 5 on this ground, Waitman. Against the Bombers, I think, one day. Kick going forward. Scrimshaw overran it. McNeil come back inside. West attacked the footy. Scrimshaw got back to help out. Found Sicily. Looks up through with a worm burner. Up the corridor, and Buku Kamas leads out. Mabior Chol to the footy. Marks in the centre of the ground. Kamas lowered the eyes. Found Daniel. It's been sort of held in reserve today. The wind going from his left to right. He hits up towards a soft spot. Norton came with a big fly, but getting in the front was Frost. He'll now steady for Hawthorn as he looks laterally with a handball.
He does. He fans it wider. Oh, a big torp, or not a big torp, a bad torp. Bontempelli cuts it off. Treloar gives it back to him. Bontempelli just arches the back. The skipper, he hasn't got a Brownlow, but if he keeps kicking goals like that, he might have one in about 6 months' time. That was vintage Marcus Bontempelli. He tucked it under the arm. He's quicker than he looks because he moves like a Rolls Royce, and they're quicker than they look. And the Dogs kick another 15-16, 106. It's a 50-point margin. A strange decision to go for the torp. I didn't name the player because I couldn't pick him up, and he's thankful for that.
Torp up the corridor. It was Hardwick.
It was Hardwick, who's had a dirty old night. I was going to make mention, his 4 months of training as a forward has lasted half of a community series game because he's been shifted to defence, which is always interesting.
That's horrible.
That's 50 points, the margin.
The old 1-2. We go back in the centre of the ground. 15-16, 106. The Dogs lead Hawthorn 88-56 as we've gone 15 minutes in the last quarter here at UTAS Stadium. Lob tried to get the clearance. Treloar, he tried to sock it to himself, and Lob with a follow-up. Picked it up, handballed, inboard to Harms. He looked up it towards Ugle-Hagan. Getting back there as West. Ugle-Hagan first to meet it on his left. Did the team thing, centred the footy, and cut off only as far as Bodie Ryan. Hit the play game for Hawthorn as Ryan from the Brighton Bombers, of course, and the Glenelg Football Club in South Australia. McDonald kept it in for Hawthorn. Ginnivan, plenty of space on his left, towards centre half forward. The target was Scrimshaw. Getting in there, Ryan. He got wrapped up straight away by McNeil and Daniel. Umpire said, I'll have it. We've 16-20 gone in the final quarter. Just getting a fraction dewy, a little bit of breeze. Starting to get that feel of winter. Mackenzie around his body, out towards the interchange gate. Mark taken by McDonald as Hawthorn look to surge forward up centre wing.
Yeah, they'd like to kick a couple of late goals. 31 inside 50s to 11 in the second half in favour of the Dogs. It's been one-way traffic. So McDonald kicks it long down the line. Chol goes up, can't mark. They're the ones he needs to try and glove and grasp. Ball's kicked by McKenzie, up and under. Karmas goes up, can't take it. Liberatore handballs it over his ear. Sanders gets it, gives it back to Waitman, who's behind the ball. Sanders gets the 1-2, finds the releasing mark to Williams. He's got numbers. He's got Gallagher running alongside. Gallagher tries to kick it back inside, but hits the outside of his foot.
Have you noticed that the long handball's gone, isn't it? A lot of the players nowadays try these little dinky sort of 6 metre, 7 metre little chip kicks.
Yeah, strangely enough.
We've seen a lot of them tonight. I'll pull the kick. Well, what happened to the Diesel Williams 8 metre handball?
Rocket handball. No, we aren't seeing it. Warples onto the ensuing ball in. Ball's bashed back inside by Huswaite. Up is Karmas. And they're the exact situations, Miles, that Chol's got to find a way to bring that ball to ground.
He's been good, Karmas, hasn't he? He's been very good. He finds the front. He takes contested marks.
Oh.
And that's another dinky kick in board. Missed Trelaw, but he managed to gather. Handballed off. Found the runner in Caulfield, the former Saint. Went wide of the harms. He fumbled as well. Chip up to 50. And Taylor to 8. He'd have to kick this from 55, and I think it may be a fraction beyond him. He looks up. Ugle-Hagan the target, the fly. Managed to miss. Hit off the chest and over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in 30 metres around from the Bulldogs' goal in their right forward pocket. And the wind blowing into that pocket most of the night. The chill coming over UTAS Stadium as we've gone 19 minutes in the final quarter here in Tasmania.
Surprising to see Hardwick moved after only a half a footy. West is onto the loose ball. Gives it to Daniel, who's playing forward. McNeil off one step, won't get the journey. Ugle-Hagan up, doesn't make any contact with the footy, and the man I mentioned, Hardwick, has gone from the forward pocket to the back pocket. He kicks it 4 metres to Ward, who escapes the tackler, kicks it long. Ball's unable to be marked. Ginnivan with the tackle, and he was Ginnivaned.
It was Ginnivan.
Jackie Ginnivan was Ginnivan. The nice shrug from Gallagher.
He loves those.
He kicks it sideways and backward about 10 metres.
The angling of the knees, JJ.
Yes. Yeah, it's clever. Jones kicks it out wide to Karmas.
Liked his game.
Karmas on the non-dominant, and that's why he doesn't use it very often, because he turns it straight over to D'Ambrosio. Left footers need to always use their left. They're fine kicks on the left foot, not so much on the right. Amon's a very good kick on the right, but that's an even better mark by Liam Jones, who kicks it backward again. I think the Dogs are just happy to get a little bit of footy amongst the defenders. The handball received, though, ends up in the hands of Sanders. Something about this guy. He kicks it long inside forward 50. It's not the greatest kick in terms of direction, but Riley West, right spot, right time again. He kicks it underground, and he kicks it through the goal. He's got a couple. He's got 3. In fact, he's got 3 goals, all of them quite impressive. He's got a little bit of something about him. A lot of the attention from defenders goes toward Cody Waitman in terms of the small forwards, but if he can be a foil for Waitman, he can be a factor. And the Dogs continue to extend 16-16, 1-12. They're hammering the Hawks 8-8-56. This is a belting in the second half. And that score is all thanks to Tyre Power, your trusted Aussie-owned tyre experts.
56 points the margin. I know Dean off the text, if this is a true reflection of the Hawks season, they'll be 17th.
It's a 14-goal to 2 second half. That is as big a belting as you'll see.
Massive. Back in the centre of the ground. Have your say. 0433 98 11 16. Love to hear from you. Sanders, possession number 27 for him. Finds Trelaw. And that's enormous from the kid. Absolutely enormous numbers from the kid. 10 kicks, 17 handballs, 4 tackles, 4 clearances. And I'm glad my money's on him for the rising star. So Hawthorn come out towards the commentary side on the Community Series paint. into Nash. He had a big tackle from Bontempelli. McDonald on his right, kick smothered, picked up by McKenzie. Big tackle laid on him by Richards. Umpire said, I'll have it. Ball up centre wing right in front of our commentary position with 5 minutes 50 remaining on the Makita All the Outdoors clock.
I called Wednesday night's game, Carlton and Melbourne. Caleb Windsor, you can add him to the Rising Star conversation as well. He reminded me of a young Bailey Smith carrying the footy as the Hawks. Dispossessed. Liberatore, Bontempelli, Sanders. He looks at home with that midfield. Kicks it across the ground. He's got plenty of time. Finds a teammate in Gallagher who's looked okay. He fans it even wider to Caulfield. So some of the new dogs linking up. Norton goes up, but in front, Newcomb only knows one way. This young man standing in front of the power forwards takes a nice intercept mark. He finds Bodie Ryan, who plays on. In fact, it's McKenzie, the first goal scorer of the game. He kicks it wide to D'Ambrosio, who's been okay. Be fighting for a spot. He kicks it short. Finds McGuinness. He kicks it short inside to Amon, and the Stinger's completely gone from this one, Miles. See if you can spark it up a little bit.
Has. I mean, the Bulldogs sucked the life out of them in the last quarter, but it'll be interesting to see whether or not Hawthorn can still run. Newcomb, you know he will. Wheeled and turned, centre wing, far side up to left half forward, kick cut off by Lobb. A Rory Lobb at right half back. Non-commentary side, the Bulldogs kicking to the left of your radio dial, wherever you may be, right around this country on AFL Nation for McDonald's and New McCrispy at Macca's. Send us a text, not while you're driving, of course, 0433 98 11 16, but when you can. Sicily goes inboard, the old-fashioned coach killer, cut off by Tim English at 45. Isn't that what they say, JJ? If you don't hit the 45, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, well, it's a goal, but it's either a goal for your team or their team.
And a 50-metre penalty given away too, I think, for encroaching the area. So English should be taken probably within 40 metres. It's his second conceded 50-metre penalty for the night.
Let's have a chat about the out-of-contract stars for the Dogs. So English, Smith, who's going to miss the whole year, and Jamara. It's pretty straightforward that Ugle-Hagen's signature is the first one you need to get signed. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you have to start looking at, on your list, if you've got Norton loaded and Ugle-Hagen loaded.
Oh, boy. And
that's a bad kick from English. Misses over to the right-hand side of the goals. Another minor for him. We'll get back to this 16-17, 113. The Dogs lead Hawthorn 8-8-56 with 3:30 remaining. It's when you start having those top enders for your forwards, you need money for your on-ballers.
Yep.
And I know that they've probably got Treloar cheap enough. McRae, reasonably cheap. Bontempelli would be extracting a large part of the salary cap as well. So as the kick goes back inside 50, finds Jamara Ugle-Hagen almost directly in front, 40 metres out. He will line up, I think, goal number 4 for
this
him.
Is his 4th. Norton's already got 4.
And West has got 3.
Again, we highlighted this at the start of the broadcast. Hawthorn's key defenders are going to have, or lack thereof, are going to have their hands full. So Ugle-Hagen, comes in and kicks truly. So he's got 4. He's kicked 4 goals, 2. Norton's kicked 4 goals, 2. So the big boys have kicked 8 between them. They are a handful. I'm a big fan of both guys. And the Dogs, just under 3 minutes remaining, 17-17, 119. Lead the Hawks 8-8-56. It's a thumping of epic proportions. It won't mean anything when Hawthorn line up against Essendon in round 1 at the MCG, but certainly a few holes when they go back and have a look at the tape on Monday morning. And Jamara Ugle-Hagen out of contract. The old Connor Sports Management will just be fielding offers all year. Robbie D'Orazio will have the phone open. Be 10 years, 10 million, probably plus. Sounds silly, but it's not.
We'll get to all your texts after the game finishes. 2.5 minutes remaining, but Danny from Berwick saying if they kick straight in the first half, this could have been 150 points. Yeah. So Hawthorn, we're going to go up inside 50 the first time in a while. Lewis come out, McGuinness managed to wheel around and just get some purchase on the ball. Handball from Ginnivan to Chol. Left foot snap. And when you got a man that tall that can snap like that, you just want to see it more often.
He's excited about it.
He's got shades of... he's got real Shea Bolton vibes. That he could just explode to that sort of X-Factor level.
Well, he can do a couple of things that Lance Franklin can do. He's supremely skilled. His ability to kick it around the body and his field kicking is unbelievable, Mabior Chol. But you don't get at that size, and believe me, you are that size. I've endured the same criticism. You've got to compete and you've got to bring the ball to ground and you've got to fight hard first before you can go and do the snaps around the corner and, you know, the field kicking. That stuff can't come before the competition. So that's his challenge, but certainly when he gets that stuff right, he's a very talented player.
17-17, 119. The Dogs lead Hawthorn 9-8-62 with 2 minutes remaining. Thanks to Maccas and Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts. The Dogs, centre wing, far side, Sanders, wrapped up, big tackle. It's been taken high. He'll get another disposal. And, well, the high draft pick number 6. Watson went pick 5 in front of him, of course. He looks all but ready-made.
Yep, plays with the socks almost up, not fully up, hasn't fully committed.
Shades of Horn Francis. Bontempelli from Ugle-Hagan. Takes the loft wedge inside 50. Callum Daniel wanted to be front and centre. Tapped to himself. Did well. One way, zigzag the other. Feigned the handball. Back now to Richards. Has space. Does he use it? No. Took too long. Turnover. And Hawthorn looked to clear through right half back.
They do. Not much for them to go to. They'll need to find an uncontested mark. Bounced on the spot. Lewis is cut off by Waitman, who I think's gone behind the ball in this last quarter. Daniel, who's fresh, so he has worked from one end of the ground to the other, but he hasn't played the first half. So no surprise to see him running past a few, but this is the period of the game where the fitness staff are saying empty out, because in round 1 you got to empty out and you can't go to it for the first time when the real stuff comes along. Nash gets the clearance.
This empty out is you run until you're absolutely got nothing
you've got to
left.
Experience it now so that it doesn't shock you as much in round 1. It still will, but if you just jogged around all summer, and round 1's going to shock you.
So you're here at this point, quarter 4.
You're thinking more about just running and trying to feel that pain.
Essentially, you throw up.
Yep, more so than even getting the footy at this point. Oh, Jamara goes up. A big hang, and I'm telling you, Miles, that is a sign of things to come this year.
Jumping at the footy, commentary side and right in front of a centre wing.
Give me all the stock you can sell me on him.
Up he went, and then inside 50. Norton nearly took one off the back of it. And Hawthorn trying to clear the footy, but the party tricks are coming out. Another big grab. Taken there by DeRay.
Dr. Ray says anything Jamara can do, I can do half as good, not better.
So the siren will sound on the game here at UTAS Stadium. The Western Bulldogs 17-17, 119 defeat the Hawthorn Football Club 9-8-62 by 57 points. The margins, well, 5 points at quarter time in favour of the Bulldogs. It was 17 points at half time in favour to Hawthorn. And then the Bulldogs turned it on in the third quarter. 19 points the margin in their favour at three-quarter time and blew it out to 57 points. We've got about 10 minutes, Josh Jenkins, before we have to wrap up and say goodbye. But we'd love to hear from you. 0433 98 11 16. That's 0433 98 11 16. And this is AFL Nation for McDonald's and New McCrispy at Macca's. Right, JJ. Dominant second half from the Bulldogs. They really turned it on. I mean, that third quarter, nothing short of outstanding, and then ran the game right out. But we've got some individual efforts to talk about at some point. I just want to start with the goal kickers for the game, though. Ugle-Hagan 4, Norton 4, and Riley West with 3. They had singles to Bailey Williams, Cody Waitman, Adam Treloar, Rory Lobb, James Harms, and Marcus Bontempelli. And for Hawthorn, Connor McDonald kicked the 2, Mitch Lewis 2, Jack Ginnivan 2, Cam McKenzie 1, Nabi Ochol 1, Luke Bruce 1, and that wrapped it up for the Hawks. But what did you make of the game, my friend?
Well, it was a 70-plus point turnaround from half-time. Quite incredible. The Hawks were up by 17 points at the half, and an unbelievable second half from the Dogs. And we had a text earlier saying if the Dogs didn't start the game kicking 2 goals 10, then imagine what the scoreline would have been. And this may have become a big story because, yes, we don't read into results, but you can't also ignore what happens in front of your eyes. And the Hawks have got big problems in the defensive end. I know they've got Sicily, who's a fantastic player, one of the premier key defenders in the competition, but he's a premier key defender because of the way he can rebound and be creative as well. Not necessarily because he's one of the premier stoppers in the competition. So the Dogs will be feeling good about themselves. To me, it just highlights why they should be a more consistent team. They should be a higher performing team. I love the work of Sanders. You found him for the Rising Star. He looks absolutely superb. English was good. Jones controlled things down back. They've got potency in the front half. The midfield is outstanding when they don't overuse the footy. So all things look good from the Dogs' point of view. And the Hawks, well, it won't be a sad and sorry flight home, but it won't be comfortable.
Certainly won't. I just want to run through some numbers, though, here. Fascinating. John Newcomb, 37 disposals. Carl Amon, 28. Jarman Impey, 22. McKenzie, 19. McDonald, 19. D'Ambrosio at 18. Henry Huswaite, 17. Warple, 16. Sicily, 15. Scrimshaw, 14. And the rest were sort of 14 or 12 or under. Let's turn our attention back to the Bulldogs side. They really got going late. Marcus Bontempelli finished with 32 and 8 tackles. Riley Sanders, 30 touches.
Wow.
4 tackles, 4 clearances. Big from the youngster. Tom Liberatore had 30 disposals. Treloar, 28. Ed Richards, 18. Harms had the 17 with McNeil, 16. Hugo Hagen had 15 with Tim English. Waitman, Johannesson, Caulfield and Bramble all had the 14 for those that want to play some of their fantasies. But a huge game from a youngster to have 30 touches in your lead-up match into your first AFL season.
Yeah, I've said it a few times over the course of this pre-season, but when you're a young guy or you're not established in a team and you get an opportunity at this time of the year, what you need to do, because the coaches have got a preconceived idea of what the team might look like, and say you're not in that, you're still getting an opportunity to play, and what you can do is play so well and perform so strongly that they say, well, we've got to drop someone else. We didn't have Sanders in our starting midfield in round 1, but guess what? We got no choice. We've got to play him. So does McRae miss out? Does someone else miss out? Does Treloar start on the bench? Does he get pushed to half forward? They're the things that young players can do this time of the season. Watson was okay for the Hawks. Ginnivan was fantastic, but certainly from Sanders' point of view, he looks as good as any young player we've seen across the community series.
Just want to mention too, Tom Liberatore, a game-high 13 clearances as well, which is an enormous number for him. I want to get to a few texts because it's all about you, the listeners. On a side note, Hugo Hagen's looking like an absolute weapon. I reckon he'll develop really well this season, and that's what you've been saying all night. Question for Fitz and JJ, is Bont allowed to excel because of Libba? Good question.
Yeah, they go hand in hand, don't they?
Unfortunately, when the Dogs' big boys flex their muscles, the Hawks are just not big enough. From Steve. Guys, are the Bulldogs genuine top 4 prospects, or you can't judge them on these games, JJ?
The best footy. They're a team who are capable of going in against any opponent on any given ground and winning, but they're equally capable of losing any game.
Any team, yeah.
We saw them lose to West Coast in Melbourne when they had to win to make it.
Well, they lost to Hawthorn in Utah
the week before
at this exact stadium by 3 points.
They've got to get rid of the Jekyll and Hyde performances, and if they can be all Jekyll and less Hyde, they'll be a top 4 contender.
I'm surprised the AFL would allow the Dogs and Hawks to play twice in the pre-season.
Yeah, I found that a bit strange as well.
Strange. Well, it certainly made it a lot easier prepping for the match tonight, doesn't Berwick? I'll give you the red hot tip.
Rinse and repeat.
Save some replays. Hawks will struggle all year against teams with 2 or more big forwards, Dogs, Saints, Cats, Lions, Carlton, etc. You can't have all the tall backs they have and expect to compete.
You need pressure on the footy as well, so if you haven't got the personnel down back, you need the pressure on the footy up the ground, and they didn't have that consistently enough. So, yeah, That's why they went after Ben Mackay. That's why they went after Asava Radigalia. They didn't secure either. So it's going to be young Phillips, it's going to be Sicily, and it's going to be Frost who are going to be tasked with stopping those big forwards. And tonight, Norton and Ugelhagen kick 8 between them.
J-Dog chimed in. Cummins the hour, Cummins the man. I like it. There's going to be plenty of that this season. Watch Dwayne Russell roll that out on AFL Nation. And I like this text. Listening from Boyce, Idaho on Exchange. The Dogs are looking very good this season. So shout out
from
to
Idaho. I like
whoever's in Idaho in the States. Tim said BOG and most effective are often different. Who was your pick for best on ground and who was most effective? Good question. JJ, in the last 2 minutes.
Best on ground. Normally get the votes thrown at me. I'm not ready to do any votes at the moment.
I thought it's hard to argue against Bontempelli.
It's hard to go against Bontempelli. 32 disposals, a goal, 8 tackles. I think Liberatore could be up there. If you forced me to go 3-2-1, I'd probably go 3 Bont, 2 Sanders, 1 Libber.
John Newcomb just keeps doing it in a side that's nothing short of...
he would have been in the votes for sure, 37 touches, but they just got hammered. They got belted. They didn't deserve a vote.
Got hammered. Miles of Derwent's in Hobart, not Launceston, very aware of that. That's why that was part of the gag when I said he's kicked it to the Derwent. I'm well aware.
The youngsters are on the field. We love to see that here.
This is what we like.
Utah Stadium. Don't protect the surface. Let the kids on there for a kick, and they certainly are. Not exactly swamping the ground, but there are a few hundred out there.
The other matches that were played, we ran through them earlier on in the program of the broadcast for AFL Nation for Maccas, of course, but we'll run through the round. Collingwood won by 30 points over Richmond. Melbourne won by 38 points over Carlton. Brisbane won by 25 points over Sydney. The Giants won by 44 points over the Suns. Geelong took care of Essendon just by 12 points down there at GMHBA. Port Adelaide beat the Dockers by 39 points, and the Crows gave the West Coast Eagles a touch-up by 67 points. Repeating, the Western Bulldogs have won by 57 points here tonight, 17-119, defeating Hawthorn 9-8-62. The game's coming up tomorrow. St Kilda take on North Melbourne from RSCA Park. Moorabbin. So looking forward to that. In the last minute of the show, get to a couple of other texts. Sanders may not be in the starting midfield from round 1, but will be sooner rather than later. Mr. Consistency averaged just over 35 disposals at 80% efficiency for the Allies last year. Yeah. He looks the goods.
He's yours, isn't he?
He's mine.
You've grabbed him early.
I've grabbed him early. He is mine. And I want every bit of him for the entire year.
Yeah, he looks a smart player. We're blessed, aren't we? A lot of players find it tough to make the transition, but there are always half a dozen who just slot straight in, and he looks to be one of those. So, exciting times for the Dogs.
JJ, thoroughly enjoyed the call with you tonight, my friend. Appreciate it as always.
Likewise, we'll do it again soon.
Josh Jenkins in the commentary. Like to thank our partners for AFL Nation, of course, and McDonald's, a new McCrispy at Macca's. Try it today at Macca's, and of course Tyre Power, your trusted tyre experts, Aussie-owned tyre experts at Tyre Power. Thanks for joining us on AFL Nation. We're going to leave you with the highlights from the match. Just repeating, the Western Bulldogs 17-119 defeated the Hawthorn Football Club 9-8-62 here at Utah Stadium in the 2024 AAMI Community Series.
Hawthorn get the first look at it.
McKenzie.
Around on the left from McKenzie, and it's a beautiful finish from the young man. If you don't mind, McKenzie just goes bang.
Jamari's getting busy on his bike. He turns, wheels around, hits it from 52. Umpire doesn't move. And if it's shades of what we're about to see this season, he'll be the human highlight reel. At left half forward for the Bulldogs. They go back inside 50 once more. Ball spills over the back. Lott managed to get a fingertip on it. McNeil kicked it forward in the practice game. Underground handball to Norton, and he kicks his first.
Plenty of plays around the footy. Nash could have been a high contact free kick to Watson, but it's not. Ginnivan gets his hands on it, and he knows exactly what to do with the footy inside 50. Across the body, Jack Ginnivan, his first unofficial goal for the Hawks, but it's an absolute beauty. Kicks it long down the line. Bruce is able to get the footy after